Yeah, it's DQ, baby. PseudoKillas, what up? What up? What up? Check. Tapping in, what's the subject? Evolution or revolution, we ain't done yet. Laying flat like Sanchez, this a bomb threat. I know my flow like Angozi. Source up and show me, homie. You shut up and mute up a moment. The mad scientist, I'm knowing all the components. We own it, and we gon' off it if it's pseudo. You do know we don't entertain that keyboard judo. That big Bobby banger out of Baltimore. Done it all, shop before. Sold a little something, but I taught you more than your average teacher. I had to reach you at your level to bring you up. No devil can never beat you. With precision of a magi, the information supplied by some guys get debunked on live. CK and JuJu, I chill in the cut. But if you boys wanna fade, then I'm chefing you up. I organize live, the beats are disorganized truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers, SpaceAgeAfricans, back again. Unorganized live, the beats are disorganized truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers, SpaceAgeAfricans, tapping in. I always been fly, that's an actual omen. You can catch me in the sky, ask Anthony Bowman. He see me with his telescope, I was actually floating off some good kush that Sabio is actually growing. See, Gullah and Kent is where the money gets spent. Them boys got some books that cost as much as your rent. The second verse should be smash Rockwell, but I rock well. Underground like Sumerian Rockwells. In the ring like I'm the rock whale. Hell, create a different wave that can rock whales. Hell, shit swell like lunar tides. My entendres off Gandra to who describe. Euthanize foolish guys. Scholastically, haphazardly. Turn your camera on and look me in my eyes. And please do subscribe. 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy. You in for a new surprise. It's DQ, a organized lie. The beats are disorganized truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers, SpaceAgeAfricans, back again. An organized lie. The beats are disorganized truth every time. Kudos, who those niggas? Decorated pseudo killers, SpaceAgeAfricans, tapping in.
Yeah, we back, and welcome to my virtual Space Age African redesigned room. Yes, I was giving y'all a little cosplay, a little Nubian Egyptian, right? Y'all gonna get sick of me talking about Egypt, you feel me? But they'll tell you, don't buy none of this. It's all made in China. Except maybe this part. This is what you call a galabeya. It's part. It's just the head covering because most of them are Muslim. But I just think this is so elegant. And look, it can even be sexy. Ooh. But let me stop. I'm just playing with y'all. But I'll let y'all feast on that. You feel me? All natural, no makeup. Just a little eyeliner and lip gloss. Yeah, you know how that black don't crack. Uh, but anyway, what's up? I know y'all miss me. It's like, yeah, when I took a vacation, everybody took a vacation, but that's okay. Cause we back. Yeah, I got 28 in the building, and you already saw the introduction. So yeah, we're gonna have a little fun with it, right? Um, I'm good Juju, bad Juju, and
What's up, baby? You doing all right? You got the
I'm
Space
good.
Age African, aka Starman, in the building. Everybody
Yeah,
all right?
that's what's up. Y'all know he outside, right, with his telescope, because he said this is like the first clear night in like
Yeah.
a month, maybe 3 months.
Yeah,
So
y'all, please forgive me for not camming up. I could cam up, but it's dark out here, and like I was telling Miss Juju, this the first clear night I done had in about 2 months. So I'm
well,
excited.
yeah. So yeah, and even with the camera off. Ooh, I got this new avatar. Hold on. I gotta do something for him, fam. I gotta do something to him, okay? Look at that. Y'all know, like, I'm kind of into the Vodun thing, West African spirituality. And I feel like this like a space age African juju priestess, a Vodun priestess. I don't know. She was giving me vibes. So yeah, I had to grab her. You know what I'm saying? Shout out uh to one of my homeboys who made this. And I was like, can I have it, please? And I got it. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's dope. I like that, Miss Juju.
yeah, so we got a lot of things in store. And so on this series of the Big Bang, we'll have lots of awesome visuals. Yeah, I had to upgrade it because I was like, I had to just step my game up. Like I'm competitive. I play sports. So look, you know what I'm saying? You gonna do your thug thizzle, I'm gonna do my thug thizzle twice. You feel me?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Right. So we're not gonna make this a long show. We don't want to make our galaxy be a long, but what we do want to do, what we decided we're gonna do is make it more interactive. And you already know, coming later on, we are going to dedicate this show to a particular scientist. But I will tell you now, go ahead, hit that StreamYard link, come bring your beautiful selves onto the panel and let's get it popping. Let's have a little bit of fun. This is what we call the interactive introduction and overview session for the Big Bang series. So we're just going to go down through the outline, show some awesome visuals, and yeah, chat it up a bit, crack a few jokes. Cause I literally been on a roll all morning, all day. I was in my comedic bag for real, showing glyphs of a man dancing on the roll, talking about I'm on the roll. Showing it on the roll, talking about on the roll, but whatever. So do you want to say anything before let me check the outline? I didn't actually like print the outline for y'all to see it. Maybe I can though. So hold on, y'all. Let me do something for y'all. Oh boy, I've been having so much fun. Do we want to do the definition first? Is it gonna let me do it? Oh, I don't think it's gonna let me do that.
Well, we was just being an overview. We can just,
Just
I
hold
guess,
on.
go down that list.
I'm gonna open. I hope this don't mess up nothing. Ooh, that works. Let me go ahead and click that off. All right, that works though. That's cute. So we're gonna do the overview, but do you want to do the definition first or the overview? Cosmology.
All right. Well, we can do the definition and then break it.
Break it
Break it
down.
down.
Yeah, so I was just gonna do the simple definition. If you find a better one, let me know. But so we're going to talk about this is the Big Bang series, and we're really going to talk about Big Bang cosmology. And just like, no, I'm not going to say that because I want to mess it up. But anyway, cosmology has to do with probably like every aspect of the field of astrophysics. And a lot of times you'll see scientists or astrophysicists, like the one that we're going to dedicate the show today and make tribute to, because you already know we on that no more dead white man science. He's not only listed as an astrophysicist, but he's listed as a cosmologist also. And I think you'll like who I'm going to present today. I've said his name many times, but we haven't actually presented him. So go ahead, pull out, your little notepad, or maybe big. I don't mean like that. iPad, your stylus, pencil and some paper. Or if you got one of them cool notebooks, I'm gonna show y'all something one day. It's dope. Like you can like write on it, erase it, keep writing on it, because I don't know if it's digital or something, but we'll talk about it later. But get that out, take some notes, and let's get the party started. But yeah, go ahead and hit that invite. I'm just gonna keep putting it out there for y'all to hit. But please do that for me. So yeah.
I'm just talking. I just I'm sorry, Miss Juju.
Go ahead.
When we're talking about, this series is basically going to be about the evidence that we have that supports the Big Bang Theory. And, just understand that the expansion of the universe is what is considered the Big Bang. So it's a lot of things, that has come together to where we can form a chart from it. And that's something you've heard me say before. When you have, especially like when we were talking about the periodic chart,
right?
When you have good science, you're going to be able to come out with a chart or a graph or something like the Hirschsprung-Russell diagram.
Right.
We were talking about the stars, how it lays everything out, and now you can see the pattern and that gives, well, at least for me, that gives me a better understanding. So hopefully we can do the same thing for you guys. And that gives, well, at least for me, that gives me a better understanding. So hopefully we can do the same thing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty hot. We got some guests though. Thank you. Of course, we got the infamous or the best. We got the beast in the house, right? He's the lion on the hill. Bobby Bad Boy Fingers in the building.
Hey man, we had the Big Bang series, yo. We just did a Big Bang over there. You know what I'm saying? Real easy. It's just a threat. You know what I'm saying, yo? I'm not gonna never do nothing that's gonna embarrass the PK, right? I'm not gonna do all that name calling. You know what I'm saying? Not yet. I'm gonna get his mother real quick. Not yet though.
We get raunchy. That's
I definitely own, right?
That's
But I'm glad to be over here, right? And hopefully some of the people traveled a little bit.
Yeah, we got 36 rocking hard in the building. Thank you, Bobby.
Need more over here. No, it should be more than that. What's going on, Space Age Anthony? What's up,
Peace
brother?
to you, my brother. Peace to you, my brother. I appreciate your presence.
I'm over here.
Definitely.
I'm over here with my pen and pad, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we about to get it in, man.
But I wanted to have some fun first. I had fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you did that.
See why they mess with the PseudoKillas, yo? Like they know we got it.
Because we like the shenanigans.
They know we got it, though, Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Yo, come on, man. They know, come on, man.
We got that sauce. We got that sauce.
I don't chase people to beat them up. Yeah, I wait till I see them.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't gotta chase them. Wait till you see them. They gotta come through.
Yeah,
they gotta come through signs, right?
Yeah, you do. You got to come through it. You got to have that proper methodology. You got to have that empirical data, that research on point. You got to have it vetted. You got to do all that. You feel me?
But
You just can't do one of them.
The most important part of all of that, though, Miss Juju, in my opinion, is
go ahead.
You have to be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with that information, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem, because the pseudos use the scientific information, but they misconstrued it and leave stuff out and
Correct.
that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're here. That's what the pseudo killers are here for, to fill in those gaps for you and give you those techniques and those tools that they use to come up with their information. And what the consensus is formed on, and what it's the foundation of the consensus, that's what we do. The pseudo won't do that. He won't tell you how he got his information. He won't tell you where he got it from. And then that's where you got to be initiated and blessed by the divine and all this kind of stuff. Now, you ain't got to do all that.
Mommy's got to talk to you and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, you ain't got to do all that.
Well, Ronald Perkins said you got to sleep in the sarcophagus. And what was that, Ronald Perkins? You said?
Oh, yeah. Hey, how's everybody doing? Long time to hear.
Peace to you, Ronald. Appreciate you showing up, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. This has become my most favorite time of the week, because most definitely, it's not unlike some of the other topics. Sometimes they get a little repetitive, but you guys always have new. You guys always have new information, and very stimulating. So I appreciate what you do. And you go into the sarcophagus, and then you get projected out to the star system. I think it's Sirius, right? Sirius stars.
I ain't never heard that, Ronald.
Then you talk to the Nomo, because the Nomo came here.
Oh, that's right. They came from Sirius, right?
Yeah, Sirius, right?
Is that the Dogon thing they don't mix?
Dogon.
Okay, yeah.
And they did see the star. What's up, Ron?
Hey, brother Unc, how you doing?
At war.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, he suited up. Voted.
So you're gonna win by attrition, right? You're gonna take an inch at a time.
Nah, not at all.
Gonna make them give up.
Come on, man. We in the lab, yo. We in the tank. We in the high altitude stealth bomber, yo. We let them do all that crazy, and we stick right to the information, and we get them. Wow. So we threatening them right now. Remember how Japan was, where the United States was like, look, we don't want to do this. They showed them the film of the nuclear weapon. They was like, look what it's gonna do. Show them the clip. So today I showed them the clip. You know what I'm saying? That's the clip. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get you.
Boy. Don't do it.
So do you want to surrender, or?
Yeah, I'm telling them, come out with your hands up. We're looking for the smash scam well.
Unconditional surrender, then, right?
Unconditional. Come out with your hands up. You're armed with fake glips. Fake glyphs.
It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Copy and paste glyphs. Go ahead, Ronald. What you were saying?
No, I'm ready for the show. So you guys could do your thing.
Yeah. I done went silly already. I done had a little fun. Now I'm ready to get.
It's all right. I'm all for it. We're gonna get to it, Ronald Perkins. We're gonna do a little roll call in the house tonight.
Oh man, that's
first on the list is none other than the best moderator I've ever known in my whole life.
Who would that be?
Who you know it is Lisa.
Black Panther? Is that
Lisa? Black Panther. You already know it. LaDosha showed up earlier. Thank you, LaDosha. That's my sister in Ohio. We got Ronald Perkins, of course, on the panel. We got Smoking Conversations with Sakina. Make sure y'all go over there, subscribe to his show. God, we got a lot of good people, but I had to scroll up and start. I ain't never heard him pronounce his name, but I know I'm a little jelly because he live in Hawaii. Odio. But if tell me how that's supposed to go in the Discord audio. You're gonna have to holler at me. We got Africulture Concepts. Thank you. From then till now in the building. PseudoKillas official Cedric Ortega. Yeah, you gained like a 6-pack. I had you laughing so hard. We got Tika in the building. Thank y'all for coming. We got a few more. I saw somebody that I was very happy to see because in spite of they still came over here to support me. We got Elbay in the building. I see you. We got Mr. Bitterman. I love it. I know you won't miss this. We got Set in Hotel up in there. Hey, got Tay Brooks. Thank you, Tay. You the best. An ancient history with Ovi. Yes, thank you. I think you're gonna be my honorary guest today. Thank you for coming and showing me some support and love over here, in spite of, because you know what I'm talking about. But it's all good.
What are you talking about?
And I got my Northeast African brother, Isonic, in the building. He's a Magi Archer. Go on.
Yeah, we over here in the cosmos. All of them fall under the cosmos. No matter how pseudo you is, you got to be under the cosmos. Yeah, this is friendly. This is peaceful environment here.
Exactly.
This is the cosmos where you can breathe just for a minute. No war over here. Won't get you. Won't do nothing. I ain't gonna crack too many jokes. We're gonna learn. We're not gonna bring up Egypt. We're not gonna bore Ron.
No.
Right? Yeah, no. Ron, like Ron say, repetitive. Yeah, I'm repetitive all the way to the end. All the way to I'm not stopping.
Oh God.
I'm not. They think I'm gonna stop. I'm not. I'm not, Ron. By the time I finish, we're gonna have a degree in Egyptology.
Yeah.
Let me finish the roll call, though.
I understand.
Let me finish the roll call, y'all. Real quick. Herbert Goss, thank you for coming. Everything is everything. I'm happy to see you two over here. And is that it? Oh, Lamar Pope. Yeah, we got some good people in the building. Timmy Turner, what's up, fam? Timmy be hot. Timmy be mad support. He be everywhere. Black Alchemy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see if I give a little hearts for you. No. Oh boy, they be sometime. Never mind, maybe later. So yeah, that's the roll call for tonight. So we are gonna get right into it. Let me see if I ain't messing up. No, that's not gonna let me do it. So cosmology is the study of the entire universe. The study of the entire universe and every aspect of that study. That would be a simple definition for cosmology. So it deals with the physics of the universe, the distribution of objects in all scales, on all scales, motions of objects in the universe, the evolution of the universe, age, origin, and fate of the universe. That's cosmology. So when you're studying cosmology, you're dealing with all aspects of astrophysics, from beginning to end. And for our outline tonight, I can't show it to you because I'm doing something real tricky here. And I'm still working on this laptop, but I'm going to get it one day. So we were going to deal with 5 pieces in this Big Bang series. Tonight is just going to be, the interactive introduction and overview, right? So I'm going to give you the overview. And then we're going to briefly go over some of those things included in the overview. So again, I'll drop the link. If any of you have questions or want to engage or add different caveats to this particular conversation, we would love for you to do that. So the first aspect is homogeneity and isotropy. I'm messing that up, but I didn't get the chance to go on YouTube. You know how you can put the word in and it'll tell you how it sounds. But
you got it right, Miss Juju. You got it right.
Thank you. But the universe is homogeneous and it's isotropic. So we'll explain a little bit of that later. The second one is redshift, right? Which is a very interesting concept. It can be confusing, but it's actually not as confusing as it could be when you're looking at some of the evidence, the tools and whatnot. Okay. And actually the more I call it practice when we do this. When we do these shows, because again, I'm the student. Anthony is somewhat the tutor, the teacher. And every time we do it, it's like the picture becomes more clear and more clear every time. So, I mean,
and that's the goal, Miss Juju.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
And I grow fond and literally like am low key falling in love with it. Like it's almost become it's an obsession. I ain't gonna lie, but it's a good obsession, right? Because I think it's important for people to be knowledgeable in certain subject matters that could be intimidating towards our community, so to speak. But then on the other side of that, when we talk about the scientists that we showcase, it's lots of Africans and African Americans, Africans in the diaspora, Black people, so to speak, that are involved in these spaces of science. So I feel like, the more we know and the more we know about them, the more support we can lend to them. And we can bring those avenues of information and resources. Okay. Cosmic microwave background. That I think that's one of the homogeneous and isotropic aspect in the cosmic microwave background are one of the most interesting to me, though, when it comes to this conversation. And we're going to discuss that. And then that's pretty neat. How did I read someone saying that it's considered the oldest light in the universe? You ever heard that, Anthony? I heard this one astrophysicist mention it as something like that.
Yes, then, that's the first light detected.
First light. Yes.
Yeah. Or you'll hear a lot of them say radiation. But
right. Yeah. So I think that's interesting. And then Big Bang nucleosynthesis. Now I feel like the title sounds intimidating, but the actuality is really not. So we're going to show an example of that. It basically tells you the elements and different things that came out of the Big Bang itself.
What is that's that them excuse me, Miss Juju, but that's those periodic charts that we've been showing.
Correct.
So y'all can pull excuse me, y'all can pull them periodic charts out if you want to follow along with us. If not, we got it for you again.
Yeah, I do. I think I have the best one, and actually the best one comes from Wiki because it's a periodic chart table that shows you the different elements, but they show you in what part of the formation of the universe or stellar formation that they derived from. Okay. And then the fifth, which would be the final, is galactic evolution. And this is interesting because this has to deal with the formation of galaxies, the mergers and collisions, which are not the same thing. I was like, that sounds a little redundant, but it's not quite the same thing. And also the ability for a bigger galaxy to actually absorb, or as I read it, even at NASA, gobble up another galaxy, which is interesting. So today we're just going to briefly go over this, but of course in the next episodes to come, we're actually going to get in depth in each of these subject matters. And so the first, I think, topic on this discussion we'll deal with is, or where you want to start? Because I got homogeneity and isotropy up.
Well, with it just being the overview, we can just go down that list and let's see, I got it pulled up somewhere here.
Yeah, it's homogeneity and isotropy. That's the first one.
So,
yeah. I was just going to show this. I still, I got to show the visuals, but, I'm not going to. So I'm going to get that picture. I'm going to give my little 2 cents because, you're way more sophisticated than me, and I'm going to let you have it. Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so let me try to make it quick for y'all, easy. They're like, this is easy, but it's not easy because it's weird. It's almost, how shall I say, redundant is not. So you have to listen closely and we'll go more in depth. But since the expansion of space occurs evenly at every point in the universe, I repeat that because these are important. Since the expansion of space occurs evenly at every point in the universe, galaxies are separating from each other at about the same pace, giving the universe a nearly uniform density and structure. As a result, the universe appears smooth at large distance scales. In scientific terms, it is said to be homogeneous and isotropic.
Mm-hmm.
So isotropic, well, it says an image to the left, which is the dots are a little bit more separated. Excuse me. The universe is isotropic. This means that if you stand at the center and look in every direction, the universe will look the same. And the image on the right, which the dots are straight down in columns, more uniform, the universe is homogeneous. This means that if you stand in any place and look around, the universe will be the same. It sounds it sounds a little bit redundant, but for any clarification and in-depth, besides what Anthony's going to give you in a second, we'll get into on our very next show. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned so we can get into this more. Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now, one thing we don't want to say is the center of the universe, because there's that that place doesn't exist. So what this means is wherever you are, I think you said it in the isotropic, but it's the same with homogeneity as well. It's wherever you are, you know, the universe will look uniform from your perspective, wherever you are. And that's on the whole, that's the grand scale. You know, it's like you said, it can become very confusing, especially when you hear expansion and everything is moving away from each other. Well, not necessarily, because gravity, it's the space that's in between everything that's, you know, basically expanding. So when you look out into the universe, it's like in layers, in certain levels, you'll see the same thing. Okay, take for instance, galaxies. Well, you're gonna look so far into the universe and you'll see galaxies at their, you know, structure that we see today. Your spirals, your ellipticals, you know, all these things are basically the same till you get to a certain point in time. And then you start to see the changes where they are becoming, you know, what we see today. So everywhere you look, it's like I said, on the bigger scale of the universe, everything looks, you know, the same at a certain level, no matter which direction you look in. So that's pretty dope. You know, that's the homogeneous and isotropic, you know, it's got to do with the matter.
Yeah, so you ain't like my source, because that's what my source said. But I well, also
it's not a matter of, you know, it's just that when you say the center, and
I know
then you're talking to people here on Earth, we think the Earth is the center of the whole universe, and that's not the case.
Yeah, so I'll push back on that. One, a lot of times I'll find websites that are geared to like younger people. So maybe some of those type of concepts aren't, you know, easily understood at that point. Yeah. So it's a way to make an easy example. And I think also, what was I going to say? When you talk about gravity, they use centers. So it was like a way to visualize how that would work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no
that would
doubt.
be my defense to it, but I get it for accuracy. You know, you
Well,
want.
no, it's not just that. It's for the pseudo, because
right.
You know
but
what I'm saying?
For accuracy, you want to be careful with the word choices.
It's and you know, like, okay, with that question there, no, gravity isn't expanding. Gravity is what's drawing galaxies together.
Facts, keeping it
to
together.
Form clusters and superclusters. And the space in between those massive amounts of gravity is what's expanding.
Right. That's accurate. Some things are counterintuitive. Sound good. Go ahead, Bobby Binger.
So you trying to say the Earth ain't the center of the universe? What's wrong with y'all?
Hey, the Earth ain't even the center of the solar system, dog.
Right.
So we got a long way to go.
Hold on, man. Hey, that's what they used to think.
Yeah, I know. And you got a lot of people still pushing that narrative.
You know why? Because our senses, our 5 senses aren't good indicators.
Right.
We was involved. We evolved in Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right. And so no, you do not feel the Earth spinning 1,000 miles an hour. Right. And visually, you think the Earth is actually flat. And since we're human centric, right, and Earth centric, we actually think everything spins around us. So I don't believe y'all. Where is the evidence and the proof? What tools do you use to make those calculations y'all talking about right now? That's what I want to know, because I'm telling you, I don't see it.
What you talking about, the homogeneity or the Earth being in the center?
Yeah, Earth being in the center, whatever you want. I don't see none of that stuff y'all talking about. Y'all think y'all smart. You know what it is.
Oh yeah, well,
what's up?
It's a lot of ways to tell, man. You can just, for one, look at the sun and the moon. The moon has phases, so that means that it's going around us because of the phases. You can see the different phases of the moon. Number two, when you're dealing with the sun and how it travels across the sky, you can pretty much get a good idea of the Earth's tilt, and it's basically how long it takes for that one cycle to happen, which is how we get a year, just by looking at the movement of the sky. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take some tools, of course, to really get down to it. You're gonna need mathematics and telescopes, but it's been done. The proof is the calendars that we use, every day, how we keep time. That's part of the proof right there. So, but
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm good. You go ahead, Miss Juju.
I mean, for someone who don't know as much as Anthony do, but what I do know is that the universe is extremely vast. And when we're looking at pictures like Hubble, what is it, deep space?
Yeah, the ultra deep field.
Deep field. When we're looking at that picture, we're literally looking at, is it a dime size or a quarter size?
It's like a dime.
A dime size. It's like about 5 feet or 7 feet away. Okay. Yeah. That's all we're looking at. And in that picture, there are hundreds and thousands of galaxies, millions and trillions of stars. So if we're only taking that much of the universe and it's that expansive, and I mean that what's the word I'm looking at? Expansive. I think I made that up, but it's that vast and huge. How can we on Earth are able to calculate the universe and say we're in the center when we haven't even been able to map the whole universe? That's just my little 2 cents about it.
Well, that's a good segue into the next part, which is redshift. Well, so that's a good segue in there.
Yeah, they can measure the things that we do know with redshift, right?
And they use the light that's emitted
in galaxies
from those objects. So
before we go into redshift, though, I just wanted to apologize to some of the people who had a problem with my thumbnail. I told you I was being funny, and for me, the Big Bang, I know it's a bomb, but it literally is a Big Bang, right? Yeah. So I was just being funny.
What? It wasn't really a bang, yo. Let me.
It wasn't a bang. No, let me finish, please. So, before we go on, I'll show you this because they call it a bang, but it was actually an expansion.
Yeah.
Because if it was a bomb like
cookie dough,
bang,
the cookie dough,
it would have my dumb done. It would have destroyed
Yeah.
You know, things instead of create.
Shit.
Yeah, bombs don't create nothing but a hole in the ground.
So this is animation. I'm going to show it a couple times just so you can get an idea.
And while you doing that, setting that up, I'm gonna answer this question. Tay Brooks, that means nothing in space is actually something expanding the universe with gravity. Yeah, that's something that's causing the expansion. They don't know what it is, so they label it as dark energy. But we don't know what it is. Usually when you see that word like dark or black, they don't know what it is. So we're still trying to figure out. You can see the effects of it, but what's causing it, we still don't know. So that's one of them questions that we can get our children on board with, and maybe they can answer it one day.
Hey, Anthony.
Yes,
Anthony,
sir.
so yeah, remember we was talking to your friend, the astrophysicist, and he talked about that. He was like, man, that means we don't know. The labeling of dark matter mean we don't know. That was interesting. One of them, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. But you
deep.
know, the deepest part of it is they admit it. Science admits it.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say you have to be honest with yourself. And real science is gonna do that. But if you, real science is not gonna do it, but that's on the person. But the science is there. It's the people that misconstrued the science deliberately for their personal gain. That's who I have an issue with. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what you believe. I don't care what you believe. If whatever you believe gonna make you sit down here and do this here and be honest with yourself, I'm all for it. But it's when you deliberately leave out stuff and you know, deliberately. One thing that sends up antennas and red flags for me is when somebody, like, they read your article or whatever, and then they turn around and say, well, they basically saying this. That's a problem with me. You know what I'm saying? Because in the publication, they said exactly what they wanted to say. They don't need you to turn around and try to change it up to fit your narrative. And that's where the problem comes for me.
Yeah, because and then, you know, the struggle is getting the community to stick to the experts because they're held under a different code of ethics, right? Yeah. And that's what people don't understand. Scientists are here to actually help the world, man.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. And they're not here to destroy the world and do all the things that people are saying they do, right? It's a special code. And so when you got scholars and scientists that lie, you get banned.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so you have to tell us, they have to be forthright. Just like you said, when they don't know. So when you're talking to experts, right? They don't know something, they say they don't know it. Right? I remember talking to the astrophysicist, he was like, I don't know. And it wasn't a death sentence for him. Now, in this community, boy, you say you don't know. Oh, boy, look at you. I got you. Right? Yeah, you know, it's okay to say you don't know something about that. Or it's okay to say, yo, you might be more educated on that than me. Right? I mean, in this community, if you're honest, if you say, yeah, the expert actually said this, right? And it still might match up with what I'm fighting you about, but I'm going to be honest about it, right? I don't have to lie about it. It's about education, man. That's why, you know, shows like this is important to get that honesty out, get the truth out, and that fights any racist pseudoisms, man. Simple as that.
Oh yeah, Doc. But you know, it's like I say all the time. When you're scientifically literate, they can't drag you down to their level and beat you up with experience. And that's an honest fact, dude. You know what I'm saying?
That's my best saying, yo. You said you can't drag you down.
Nah, man. You know, the Sanchez's of the world, the Billy Carsons, the red pill, blue pill, whichever one it is.
Smash don't leave them out. Can't leave him out, yo. He didn't turn.
So you had to get that in there.
Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want it to be that way. But now we got to put them up amongst the pseudos. We have to. right? Based off what we know, based off we understand methodology, based off being truthful, forthcoming. All these things is required to hang in this group.
Yeah, because you can't be blinded by your personal feelings when it comes down to dealing with science, because real science don't care. That's not a question that science even asks.
Right.
What do you believe? Science don't care. You know what I'm saying? So
doesn't care about what you believe, don't care about what you feel.
None of it.
Stand on its evidence. And that's that. You know,
they say about the universe, y'all. What they say is under no obligation for us to understand it, huh?
Under none. We're at the mercy of it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony,
and
I do have
one
a
of the
question
questions
for you,
you had up there about dark matter. No, we don't know what dark matter
I'll let
is.
you go. Right,
okay.
right, correct.
We see the effects of dark matter, but we don't know what it is. It's something, but that's why they call it dark matter.
I think I read a paper. Did you send me a paper when they said it could have been just gravity? You know what I'm talking about?
Or it is
Yeah, I
affecting
think so.
gravity.
No, I don't know if I sent that to you, but I've seen
in Journal of Science. It was a paper talking about it could just be gravity. Oh man, I don't know. But go ahead, Anthony. My fault.
Well, they, like I said, it's up in the air. We don't know what it is. We just see the effects of it, and they know for a fact that it does not react with light. You know what I'm saying? It can change light's path though, but our main way of understanding what's going on in the universe is by using the light that the object we're studying emits. So that's why when you hear black or dark, they can't see it, so they don't know what it is. There's no physical properties that we can detect from dark energy, dark matter, black holes. All we can do is see the effects that they cause on everything around them. So when you're looking at an object that's billions of light years away, one of the best ways we do it is by gravitational lensing. And there are some gravitational lensed effects where there's nothing there. You know, there's no galaxies there to bend that light. So there's something making that light bend and curve.
Correct.
And that's something we can't see with our current technologies. So that's why it's dark matter. You know, you can see the effects that it has on light, but it's not emitting or interacting with that light. So we can't tell what it is.
Can't do that. So I was going to.
Ron had a question.
Just
go ahead, Ronald.
This is why I like this show, because you guys talk about things, and then I have questions. Then I go back and look things up, and then I come back, and you say some other interesting things. I go back and look, so it's very very stimulating for me.
So you like going back and looking up sources, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Get it.
Since when?
Yeah, no.
Jesus Christ.
Well, okay. All right. No, but seriously, question.
Well, I tell you,
you guys were saying that the universe, that the galaxies. Well, first of all, the universe is expanding at this rapid rate, right?
Yeah.
And the galaxies
slowing down, they say now. But go ahead.
Okay. The galaxies are also moving at these rapid speeds, also moving away from each other. I think I heard you say that. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, well, okay, you have the expansion is not stronger than gravity on the largest scale.
Sure.
So where you have galaxy clusters and groups of galaxies together, they are coming together to form one big galaxy.
Okay, now I understand. Yeah. Okay.
The space in between the galaxy clusters is what's expanding.
Expanding. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So within galaxy clusters, you actually get merging of galaxies, like Andromeda, for instance, in the Milky Way.
Exactly.
Eventually, they'll come together. So so I understand, because it was a little bit confusing. If Milky Way and Andromeda, as an example, are coming together, they're gonna merge at one point in time. Some say they maybe already started, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have some who believe that, you know, the stars, the outlying stars,
the fringe
beginning
stars,
to affect each other.
Yeah. So, but now I understand what you're saying. It's the clusters that are coming together, not.
Yeah.
So that's great. Now my next question, since I think Aunt brought this up, but talked about maybe you talked about it, Anthony, lensing of light. That's one thing I've never quite understood yet, is if light is massless, how does gravity affect it?
Well, that in itself is a question that lends itself to, I mean, that speaks upon when Einstein talked about time and space being woven together like a fabric.
Yep.
Okay, now you have light riding on that fabric instead of just being a vast emptiness. It's like it behaves like a fabric. So if you put something very massive in the path of that light, it's gonna like make an indention into like a trampoline. You know what I'm saying? And how you would put a heavier person in the center of the trampoline, and then you put a smaller person and they're gonna roll right towards that. You know what I'm saying? Well, light does the same thing. It's moving through the curvature of space. So that's the understanding I have of how the massless particle can change directions or have its direction changed. Is because the very massive that's in its path is going to form an indention, and the light is going to curve through that indention and go on a different path. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it's great. Great answer. Thank you.
I wanted to answer a question real quick for Afri Culture Concepts, and maybe Anthony can throw a few in there, but I'm taking these from my Audible. The first one, because we actually had her on our platform, interviewed her. So that video is still up. I would urge all of you to go over there and check out Dr. Moya McTeer, Black woman who is an astrophysicist, and that's how she labels herself. So don't get at me about nothing. But her book is an autobiography of our galaxy, The Milky Way, by Moya McTeer. And that was a pretty awesome book. It was very entertaining. So it told the story of the cosmology of the universe, basically. Everything we discussed in the outline, she kind of went through that, but in somewhat of a story or a fairy tale format. You know, it had a little bit of drama to it. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, Dr. Moya McTeer is a good book. Anthony, do you have a book you want to perhaps suggest to him? And I'll make sure also to have a book list for you on the next show. Okay. So thank you for giving me something fun to work on for the audience. Anthony?
Yeah, there's a couple that I'm really fond of. I mean, we all know Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's got plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence Krauss.
Let me see.
His latest was a great one. It's called The Edge of Knowledge.
Okay.
I think it came out like last May, sometime last summer. That's a good one. That's really good.
And the greatest story ever told so far, isn't it?
Yeah. But two of my favorites would be, one is A Brief History of Black Holes by Dr. Becky Smethurst.
Okay.
And another one by it's called The Story of the Universe in 100 Stars by Florian Friestetter.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Both of them are really good. I go back to those because, you know, black holes and stars are pretty much my two favorite subjects in astronomy. So I'm pretty partial to
but that's dope. They're pretty fascinating things. And one more I'll give you is The Greatest Show on Earth by Richard Dawkins. That's just in my Audible, and that's what we can give you now. So maybe we can address some more ideas in books also. And before we go on to the next thing, I'm going to read something about the expansion of the universe, explain the diagram up here. And then we're going to get into redshift a little bit I think you basically just, I didn't know that, but what you explained to Ronald Perkins had to do with how gravitational lensing occurs too. Am I correct? Did I miss? Okay, so that was pretty neat.
That was one of them things that was predicted by general relativity 100 years ago, and they figured it out later. So another thing about good science, it makes predictions that come true.
So before I get into the graph, we have another guest that then hit the panel. Yay, this is becoming fun. Come on, y'all, hit that panel, y'all. Ask us some questions. Or Anthony, y'all. Don't ask me the hard questions. I'm finna chat GPT and wiki it for you real quick.
Let me know when y'all want to go on commercial break.
Oh, gotcha.
Got a commercial play.
I think we do a commercial break after Fetty. Let Fetty introduce himself and get it in, and then we could do a quick commercial break and finish on up. Go ahead, Fetty. What up?
Peace. What's up with everybody? What's up with y'all? How y'all doing?
Peace to you, Fetty. Appreciate you showing up, dude.
Yeah, thanks for the support.
I appreciate y'all for dropping this valuable information. I'm definitely listening. Wanted to elaborate and ask a question. I remember watching a video of the expert Brian Greene, and he elaborated on like in the early parts of the universe, even before this Big Bang, which created this particular universe. He said how it was a quantum soup that was chaotic, and he compared it to when you look at boiling water on a pot. You know what I'm saying? And that expansion is an analogy or comparison to fields flattening out. And he said like basically a Big Bang is something exploding from an atomic scale based on certain fluctuations leveling out. And he said based on time being, I guess, unfathomable. He was saying at one point or at one point based off that prolonged time, there's going to be a point where that flattening out happens and it's a Big Bang. And he was saying how it can possibly be multiple big bangs that took place. I just wanted to make sure that my analogy of that was off or on, but I remember him saying that. I didn't want to fully butcher it, but he was making that analogy of a quantum soup and comparing it to like when you see bubbles, a boiling pot, leveling out, and time, like I was saying, when you give it enough time, it's going to be rare, but it's going to happen. So I thought that was interesting when he broke that down.
Yeah, appreciate that, Fetty. That sounds like a pretty good analogy. If you can, I can visualize that. So yeah, as an analogy of the information or the evidence that we have, yeah, I can see that. But of course, like you said, he's an expert. This is what he do all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So that makes a big difference. But to lay it out that way, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I like to study stars, because when it comes down to the stars, they kind of behave the same way, on a much, much, much smaller scale. But the basics of star evolution, it kind of lines up with Big Bang evolution or the evolution of the universe.
So when I hear like other experts say, according to, I guess, the many worlds theory, how it can be a Earth similar to this, but I guess the laws of that particular universe could be a little different pertaining to, I guess, gravity or whatever. Like I always had I guess, not misunderstanding, but I'm like, according to, I guess that will fall under hypothetical or theoretical physics.
That's theoretical. And
so when they make these calculations, right? Like when they make these calculations and it's all math, is it insinuating that like it's hard? I don't know. I don't want to mess it up, but yeah, you can go.
Well, see, that's one reason why I stopped I hit the brakes. That, to me, when you get to talking about other universes and multiverses, that's why I pump the brakes. That's a stop sign for me, because all of that is theoretical. So basically, for me, I get pseudo on them points. See, that's when you're talking about theoretical physics, that's the dudes at the barbershop talking. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, that they're using evidence, you know what I'm saying? But they're just trying to figure out what it could be, what you know, how it happened or whatever. But I usually, me personally, I tend to stop with the visible or the observable evidence, because that can't be denied. Now we can sit up and, you know, come up with all kind of different ways that it all started using the evidence, but we just don't have the technology to know for sure. So that's my preference. That's where I stop. I'd rather deal with the observable. So when you get to talking about multiverses and other universes, and no, I don't go down that road. That's not my lane. But when you're talking about what could have been different Big Bangs after the initial, well, you know, that could easily be explained by the separation of the four fundamental forces. So I can get with that. You know what I'm saying? But when you, like I say, when you get to talking about multiverse and, you know, all that stuff, them Marvel movies for me.
Yeah, I got you. I just be hearing like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he would talk about that as well. Like, although the simulation theory, you know, is hypothetical and like theoretical, he would say like, he will make comparisons and analogies. See, I'm like a very visual person, so when he makes examples, like, okay, if you're in a simulation, quote unquote, how would you know if you're the creator of that or you are the product of that? And he was making analogies of like a person watching the TV and that person watching the TV. It's hard to explain, but he's making these analogies, but he's explaining it in a way, like you say, it's not pseudo, but it is a certain place where you do have to stop. So I do appreciate the fact that, you know, we do have to operate into, you know, this reality. That's the most important thing first, to understand that first before delving into
definitely.
I wanted to ask some real quick on simulation theory.
Fat A, what's up, yo?
We did a whole show on this.
How you doing, brother? Good to have you on, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I think there's this. I'm sorry.
I was waiting for Unc to get him now.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't going on commercial break. Yeah.
All right. All I want to say about simulation theory is that that's a philosophical argument. Let's not confuse it with a scientific discussion. And yes, scientists will speak on it, and that's fine, but it's still a philosophical argument. Let's just keep that 1,000 correct. Okay, go ahead, cash out break. Hold that, Robert. Rob Perkins. Go ahead, Bobby Ben.
Okay.
Ain't no cash ad break. What you talking about?
You said take a break, so do what you gonna do.
All right, I ain't gonna do it.
You want me to do it then?
No, I ain't doing it. I'm just I ain't doing that.
Huh?
Doing a commercial break. Make the screen big.
Make the screen big. I got you. Commercial break.
Commercial break.
Glyphs to misinform the African American community about their history. He uses racialized terms, as did the first colonial powers, to rename indigenous peoples. He is constantly taking advantage of marginalized communities with pseudoscientific ideas. That puts those who really want to learn at a disadvantage. The PseudoKillas are on the case and will bring him to justice. He has a warrant out for his arrest. He is being charged with impersonating an Egyptologist while not having any credentials. This is a punishable offense and carries 8 years on Egyptology school. Be on the lookout. This man is pseudo and dangerous. If you see a group promoting Stone Age bows and arrows, then that's where you will find smashed scam whales. It says to identify him, he will surely smell like weed. Once a Gene, he is armed and dangerous with fake lips and outdated bow and arrows.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's our commercial for the day. We're looking and hunting pseudos.
That's funny, bro. Oh wow.
It's terrible, man.
Hunting pseudos and fine face. Yes, we are.
Jesus.
Back to our regular scheduled programs, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
you on the
man.
lookout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, that's funny.
Oh man.
Okay,
we all like to joke around here.
Yeah.
I like that. We like jokes. We like laughing, right?
Yeah,
We definitely like laughing. It's healthy.
Sometimes you at the end of the joke. Sometimes you have to tell the joke.
Yeah.
I was just gonna make a quick comment though.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Ronald.
I'm sorry. So you have theoretical physicists and experimental physicists. And there's always this conflict between the two because theoretical physicists, they think of everything, right? Everything is possible based off of mathematics and modeling. But experimental physicists, they always want to you have to have some type of evidence, some type of proof of it. So they're the ones come up with all the devices, all the instrumentation and stuff to try to figure this stuff out. And getting back to Fetty's point about multiverses and these multi-worlds and different dimensions and things, the theoretical guy will always say, "Oh yeah, that's possible because hey, look at the numbers. Numbers say it's possible." But yet, the experimental guy will say, "Well, there's got to be some evidence of it, and we have to either devise a way to capture to show this be true, or it stays in the realm of theoretical." And
correct.
That just there's always this give and take. And I've heard some discussions between theoretical. It's all on YouTube, obviously, like Brian Greene and I forget this other guy, another Friedman or something like that. But anyway, Brian Greene being a theoretical guy and Friedman being the experimental guy, they always go back and forth as to, you say this is possible, but yet how can it be proven? And I think that's sort of an interesting conversation they always have, going back and forth. But they don't call each other pseudo or anything like that. They just accept that we haven't proven it yet, but we'll keep trying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's it's a thin line. We got to be careful. I mean, especially if we're novice, right? Don't confuse the science. Well, theoretical physicist is a thing, but don't confuse the facts with the theoretical with what's actually just pseudo.
Yeah, you're right.
So be careful with that. Real quick, because I don't want to be too long. I want to have some fun with some more stuff, but we're going to get into Redshift, but this still is dealing with the expansion of the galaxy. And there we go. So the representation of the diagram you see here is again another how should you say, like a picture of what they envision what the Big Bang would be like, or that process. And then I have another one when we talk about Redshift that shows some other details. So this is the evolution of the universe over 1,300 billion years. The far left, which is where you see kind of that which people would say is the explosion, but that's actually just the start of expansion. Depicts the earliest moment we can now probe, when a period of inflation produced a burst of exponential growth in the universe. And also the size is depicted by the vertical extent of the grid in the graphic. So for the next several billion years, the expansion of the universe gradually slowed down as matter in the universe pulled on itself via gravity, holding things in its place. More recently, the expansion has begun to speed up again as the repulsive effect of dark energy, which is not dark matter, have come to dominate the expansion of the universe. So I was wrong, Birkins. It's speeding up, not slowing down. Correction. So the next part of this is cute, and I want to show it real quick. It's the same picture, but it's simulation. I don't know if it's gonna have much visual effect. Y'all tell me if y'all see it. Let me get it big, but nah, it ain't making a difference. I guess the lines, which what's the lines? That's the gravitational wave background. Those lines are supposed to be representing, Anthony.
No, from my understanding, I think each one of them lines represent like 1 billion years or something like that.
No, I'm talking about not on the picture itself, but You see the bottom around it faintly. There's also a grid.
Oh no, I don't. I'm not sure what that is. I could imagine it's probably an example of space and time woven together like a
space
fabric.
time.
But I've never heard it.
Fabric.
I've never heard that part of it explained, so I don't know.
So the next part of our outline, and we're almost to the end, and you know, we could just play with it a little bit with the information, is this. You said you like this, Anthony. And this also gets into the redshift part. So I was gonna let you have that. So well, I will give my 2 cents on it real quick. So redshift is this interesting thing because we have
well, it's a phenomenon, Ms. JuJu.
It is a phenomenon. Darn, I practiced this word up until this point, and I'm still finna mess it up. Give me just a minute to find my source. But we have what we call the science of studying light, which is
spectroscopy.
Thank you. I'm finna mess it up. Y'all I don't know what's wrong with me, boy. I be messing up them words. But yes, we have that word. And it was explained in one of the papers I was reading as to it's almost, you know, I'm not gonna use that analogy because I had to read it a couple of times to really understand it, but something almost like sound, like, you know, the closer it is to you, it's loud, but the farther away it gets to you, it kind of dims, sort of like the light in the universe from the galaxies.
It's like the Doppler effect. I think that's what
the Doppler effect. That's exactly what it is. Thank you. But I didn't want to mess it up because I was like quick reading it. So the chart helps explain how that works. We talk about the study of light. What is that word again?
Spectroscopy.
I must be tired. Spectroscopy.
Oh, I messed that word up, boy. Spectroscopy. I can't say it. Spectroscopy.
Look, I gotta pause and look at it and practice it silently in my head to get it. But one day I'm gonna be good because I messed up trapezium to death.
Oh, but you got that down, Pat.
I got it now. So the study of light is to learn more about distant galaxies and the early universe. And I actually got this off really cute Redshift Wrangler. I don't know how I found this, but this actually is geared towards younger children, young adult teenagers, kids, because it put it in very simple terms, right? So it tells you, you already know, I left the link in the description box. So I'm not going to give you too much of no readership here, but it talks about the timeline. And redshift basically, when we study light, can tell us a lot about, actually can tell us a lot of different properties concerning the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? As far as like age, and different characteristics, which is quite phenomenal. Did you want to kind of explain that graph for the people, Anthony? Because you said you really like this.
Yeah, this one here, it basically sums up the whole series. But you know, what it's showing you is the homogeneity and the isotropy of the universe, for one. And it shows you how, when you look at, okay, if you look at that top line there, it has the years on it, like 400, what is that? Shit, I can't see it. 400,000 years. Then,
400,000.
0.1 billion. So that shows you in every direction you look out into the universe, you're gonna see it in layers like this, you know, from the cosmic microwave background,
right, which is
all the way
at the beginning after that little bulb. You can see like kind of that green blue after the pink. That's the microwave.
That's the first light that we can detect.
Correct, first light.
All the way up to where it says present day, 13.8 billion years, to where we see the spiral galaxies and stuff.
Correct.
So you notice you don't see those spiral galaxies and stuff at 1 billion years. So we don't see that. You know what I'm saying? After 1 billion years after the Big Bang, you start to see them forming in between 4 to 8 billion years. So this diagram here, it lays out everything. And speaking of redshift is basically the stretching of light. So when you deal with redshift, you're talking about Edwin Hubble. He was the one who basically pretty much discovered and understood the redshift, because as he was looking out and analyzing the light from what he saw, he started with Andromeda, which at that time they thought Andromeda was a nebula within our galaxy. Because, well, really at that time they didn't know there were other galaxies. Everything was a nebula that they saw in a telescope.
Right.
But when he started to analyze the light of Andromeda, the light was more or less, it was more bluer than other objects he was looking at. And as he was studying what we call Cepheid variables, which are stars that explode at a certain level, they once it reaches a certain point, it gives out the same amount of light. You know, you find these stars in all galaxies. He started noticing that some of the stars in Andromeda were blue and others were moving into the red. So he kind of figured out that, okay, this is very far away, but it's coming towards us because I see the blue. Everything that was much farther away, it was, you know, pulling towards the red. So he kind of figured out that the more red that it is, the further away it is. So that was the start, you know, the kind of the beginning to redshift. But redshift is just the stretching of light. So the speed of the light doesn't change. It's just that the medium that it's going through is expanding, which you know, also supports the expansion of the universe because the light is being stretched. So that's what basically redshift is, and they use that as one of the main ways to measure the distance of objects early in the universe. So redshift is very important. Yes. And it's a real thing.
And spectroscopy is very interesting, right? We've learned a great deal, and there's some like amazing, phenomenal, technologically advanced tools in order to study light or perform spectroscopy.
Oh, I can't say that.
I be practicing in my head.
Say it again. Damn.
Spectroscopy. It's like
go ahead. Say it again.
You got to break it up. Spectroscopy.
Spectroscopy. Spectroscopy.
Yes.
So that's when you measure. So that's when you measure the temperatures in all directions, right?
No, that's the measure. That's the study of light.
Yeah, spectroscopy is the study of light. A spectrograph measures the light.
Wait a minute. What's I'm saying? The word?
Spectroscopy.
Oh man, come on, hold on.
Oh, you was thinking, I'm sorry.
What's it called? Come on, yo. I'm close. Come on. So what is it when they measure temperatures in all directions? What are we doing here?
You just measuring the temperature.
Nah, it's called.
I'm gonna chat GPT it for you because I don't know what you're talking about. He was funny.
Man, I ain't messing up all these years. Y'all tripping, yo.
Answer.
I ain't buying that one, yo.
Answer that question while Bobby figure it out.
Like isothermal. Is that what you're talking
about? Isotropic, maybe.
Isotropic.
Isotropic. Okay.
Isotropic is
that it?
Yeah. I think that means, and Anthony can correct me, but I think that means the uniformity measurements, that the properties are all the same in all directions within the universe.
Yeah, that's isotropy.
Oh,
Right.
we talked about that.
All right,
Right.
yeah, that's how you measure.
Isotropic.
Yes, isothermal is that the temperature is all the same.
Yeah, that's how they know how old.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but I can get with that, Ron.
I'm telling you, that's how they know how old the universe is, right? Because how you think they look at the daggone, you know, the cosmic background radiation? When you look at that, when you actually look at it, right? Look at the radiation, you're gonna see the cool spots and the hot spots. The red spots represent the what? The red spots represent
warmer.
They warmer. So that was what?
That was
that's the newer part.
The newer part.
The earliest part of the universe, right?
The colder
and then the oldest part is going to be the blues, the light colors, right?
Yeah.
And then why would that be? Because it had to expand in all directions. And watch this: the hottest when an explosion happened, it explodes in all directions, right? And the beginning of it is hot, and as those hot particles start to cool down, they're pushing farther away. So the cool spots are farther away, and the hot spots were closer to the explosion. And they measure from the cold spots to the hot spots, from the hot spots to the cold spots, all in all directions, yo. And that's how they come to age. That's science for you right there, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's super dope. See, you just taught me something.
That's dope. We gonna vet him down, because I don't know.
I'm telling you what it is. What you mean?
I am gonna vet.
The only thing I know about the cosmos. I know nothing else but that.
He said, "I know."
And Anthony, I that Holiday Inn last night.
Funny.
Hey,
Get
that's
that
what's
question
up
for me, Anthony.
Is this the path of no? This is just a drawing. You know, I don't want to say a drawing, but just to give us understanding. But as Brother Unc just said, well, we don't want to say explosion, no, but the expansion happened in every direction. You know, this is just giving us a glimpse of what happened, but this is happening in every direction you look. And that's what makes it homogeneous and isotropic. Because when you look out, like I said, to a certain time, you see the same thing. And then when you reach another, the next, step, things change. But that's in every direction you look. No matter where you look out into the universe, no matter what time of year it is, you're gonna see this pattern throughout, and no, you're not gonna be able to do that with a telescope you bought at the store. No, the ones I got, no, I can't do that. They're not, you need James Webb or Hubble or something like that to get this level of information. So when it comes to this stuff, understanding how telescopes work, that's where I tend to lean on the experts, the ones who have access to this stuff. So basically what I'm saying, everywhere you look, you're going to see the same thing when you look out at a certain point, and understanding how to use a telescope, then you can understand what you're looking at when it comes back from Hubble or James Webb, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna address them real quick before we go on. Herbert, don't worry. This is somewhat of an overview, an introduction to the subject matter topics we're going to be dealing with for about the next 5 shows. So best believe we will be revisiting these topics, and we will be more in depth. So we're just kind of overviewing things, hashing some things out in our own heads about the topics of discussion. That's all. So don't feel like, you're lost, because, we'll find you. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah, we got you. We got
you.
Hey, Anthony,
they
also measure it in Kelvin. I forgot that part.
They do measure in Kelvin.
The temperature. Yeah,
they measure it in Kelvin.
Can you explain that to the audience?
Well, it's just a different scale. I'm not sure on the difference or the metrics of it, but I do know, you have Fahrenheit, you have Celsius.
Yeah.
Well, Kelvin is one of those too, and I think it it goes really, really low, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they got it right here. Put it on the screen.
Yeah, you can pull that up.
You can look at it real quick.
But I'm not 100% sure on the metrics. But it is
Go ahead, Juju. You can see that.
So the Kelvin abbreviation K, less commonly called the degree Kelvin, symbol K, is the standard international unit of thermodynamic temperature. 1 Kelvin is formally defined as 1/273/16 of the thermodynamic temperature of the triple point of pure water, or H2O. We're going to have to get into that more.
Yes. Yep.
I need to understand triple point and that 1 to the 273.116. Like, that's a lot of math going on there.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Juju, can you read that second paragraph on that?
Oh, my fault.
Put it back up.
My fault.
Yeah, that's pretty dope there, that second paragraph.
Bring it back.
Hold on, my fault. Yeah, we keep dope sources. We keep dope sources over here. I don't care what nobody say.
So, the Kelvin scale differs from the more familiar Celsius or centigrade temperature scale. There is no such thing as a below 0 Kelvin figure. A temperature of 0 K represents absolute 0, the absence of all heat. However, the size of the Kelvin degree is the same as the size of the Celsius degree. A change of plus or minus 1 degree Celsius is the same as the change of plus or minus 1 Kelvin. Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about this. I think he asked the question, what is, I don't know if somebody help me out, if it was actually cold or if it was actually hot. He asked something like that. It was interesting. I might have to return to that though, and we'll discuss that. But it had to do with this whole thing about Kelvin. That's a lot of math though. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's pretty deep though. But I like, what's interesting to me is there's no such thing as absolute 0 on the Kelvin scale.
Correct.
So that's pretty dope there.
Correct. So we got 3 more subjects. I thought we was way past 3 more subjects, boy, but we having just a good old time here.
Yeah, interesting subject. So.
Yeah, I wanted to get into the cosmic microwave background, which is, this is a cool bomb picture here for you all. And like I said, every source, every photo, picture, illustration that I use, you can find them in the sources that I provided for you. So don't fret, especially if you want to share with your kids, because that's what we love the most. But what's so important about the cosmic microwave background, I kind of gave out the most interesting point to me as it being the first light. But I mean, in simplest terms, I'm gonna give my little 2 cents and then let Anthony do it for real, is leftover radiation from the Big Bang, or the time when the universe began. As the theory goes, when the universe was born, it underwent a rapid inflation, expansion, and cooling. The universe is still expanding today. The CMB represents the heat left over from the Big Bang, so they'll call it heat, radiation, light. You'll hear those terms interchange when they're talking about the cosmic microwave background. The reason why I'm excited to get involved in this show is because of how important it is when it comes to when we're trying to age the universe, or saying the universe is older than what it is, or other things. One thing Anthony Starman has taught me is that you cannot get past the cosmic microwave background when you're dealing with those types of things. So when we do a deep dive, it'll be interesting to see what's really going on. But yeah, the first light, in, like we said, those first galaxies and stars that were had some billions of years ago with the James Webb Space Telescope. Shoot, even with Hubble, and maybe some other older ones, but I know for sure with Hubble and James Webb, like, you know, we are now beginning to see the light. That's just mind-boggling every time I think about that.
What
you know,
else?
looking in time.
All right, Juju, let me share my screen. Let me finish it off. You gotta be to have this. Can you see it? See?
Planck.
This is important, Max Planck. So whenever you see this color right here, right, this confirms the other one you seen from NASA. So you got two different space agencies, right? The checker checking the checker. So this actually confirms what NASA has confirmed.
I like that.
And they use this color, the Max Planck. This is the European Space Agency. This is a great goddamn website. Right?
It is.
Yeah, it is. That's a good one, that dog.
For that flat Earth shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, like, this it right here, yo. So we stay on top with our sources around here, but this is confirming what Juju just showed.
Yeah, let's show it again.
Got nothing to do with each other.
That's one.
And yeah, it's important.
And mine's is from NASA, and that's from USA, European Space Agency. That's another thing we talk about, Bobby Binger. Like, so when people attempt to talk about astrophysics or flat Earth and things like that, you never hear any other space agency but NASA. Do you know how many space agencies there are? Like, just look them up. Japan got one. Shoot, South Africa got one. You got the African Union or one of those bodies. They trying to plan to get one. You got one in Europe. I mean, it's quite a few of them. And then you have different astrophysics tools all around the world that they collaborate. You have what you call, what are these, like these land telescopes or measurements or spectrographs and different things like that. All kind of tools, and it take countries to have good diplomatic relationships and to collab with each other in order to utilize these tools. So yeah,
read this, Juju. Read this. This is important.
Which part?
Right here on the side. Can you see it?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I'm all in the camera, y'all. What does it say? That joker. Can you blow it up just a little bit? Can you? If not, don't worry about it. I got it. So it says what is that? The anisotropes of the cosmic microwave background.
The word is used.
Anisotropes.
Anisotropes. Go ahead. The anisotropes of the cosmic microwave background, as observed by Planck. The CMB is a snapshot of the oldest light in our universe, imprinted on the sky when the universe was just about 380,000 years ago. It shows tiny temperature fluctuations that correspond to regions of slightly different densities, representing the seeds of all future structure for stars and galaxies of today.
Yeah, see, that's important right there. Right here, the seeds. That's important right here. That's important, the seeds.
That's major.
It's major right there, yo. That's deep, man. That's why this is my favorite subject, talking about this. I love this. I love the color, the beauty of it, man.
Yeah, and that's something right there, Unc. You can't get past, dude. Can't run past it.
Yeah.
And with that measurement being estimated at 380,000 years after the expansion started, you can't get past that, dog. You know, until you come up with something better.
Right.
With evidence, though. With evidence.
Yeah,
come up with something better with evidence.
This is there. You know, it was found by chance.
They didn't talk about that.
The guys that figured this out didn't know what it was. They thought it was something wrong with their information, but everywhere they pointed, it wasn't a telescope, but the device that they used, everywhere they pointed it, they got the same signal, no matter where which direction they pointed it in, north, south, east, or west, it don't matter. They got the same signal. And later on, they figured out, hey, you guys are on to something. And they dug deeper. NASA got a picture, and then the ESA followed NASA up. You know, so they were basically checking up NASA's work, and it all matched. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot get past the CMB when you're dating the universe. You know, you'll see people talk about, well, the universe is 26 billion years old. None of them can get past this, though. So that's why they all fail, because we know this CMB is real. It's there. It's been verified by 3 different, you know, groups. That, you know, the one that actually discovered it, then NASA went out and got a picture, and then ESA went out and got the same picture. So
you see this?
You can't get past that. You know.
Y'all see this?
Yeah, the cosmic before they had, you could see it on your TV.
Yeah, this is y'all see these TV screens, right?
Why are you giving away? This is just the overview. We're gonna go in depth when we discuss it.
Oh, I know that. I thought we were talking about this.
No, we just doing the overview. You giving all the good stuff away for next up, but now go in. You can.
So you saying this is cosmic radiation right here? This the microwave?
Yeah, they ain't know. They ain't know why. They was like, why is it doing that?
But this is actually it.
Crazy.
It's absolutely
also the static in your radio, like when you changing radio stations. Well, I know back in my days we had dials. We didn't have the digital, you know. But when you change that dial in between stations, all you hear is that uniform static. That's it, dude. That's the remnants of the expansion of the Big Bang, which we call the CMB. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's it. And what's our favorite word, Juju?
Which one?
Oh man, you know, because most scientific most scientific inventions is found by what?
Serendipity.
Serendipity. Yep. Here you go. Here's another example.
By chance.
Yeah, here you go. People don't even know that. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. You people don't even know. They don't even realize that most scientific, you know, things they figured out, serendipity. So
well, you know, when you're dealing with science, man, you have to be able to change your perspective, because if you think what you know is all there is to know about something, dude, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you done.
You're in trouble. But you know, we never understand how much we really don't know till you start delving into a subject. But if all you're gonna do is just listen to me, what good is that? I want you to be able to go back and find this for yourself, so you can, you know, get a better understanding than maybe that I can give you. You know what I'm saying? But it's important to lean on your sources and understand where you at. I'm an enthusiast. I'm not an astrophysicist. I'm an enthusiast, and I understand that, and I accept that. Now I can move forward with accepting the information that I get.
Absolutely.
Cree got a comment on the screen, and then I'll let you go.
Thank you all, Unc, Juju, SpaceAgeAfrican, and the whole PK fam. Y'all guided me to put my daughter into and around STEM, thanks to the PK. And that's what it's all about.
That's the whole point.
I appreciate you, Miss Tay, for taking something away from me and being able to bring your family into it, because it's a lot going on in the cosmos. And like I say, we can get our children on the path to helping answer a lot of these questions. Because, you know, another thing I always say, I'd rather deal with questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. And when you looking out into the universe, it's plenty of questions out there to be answered. And we can get our children, and all children, you know, for that matter, all children involved in this. And in my personal opinion, that'll put us as a human species on a better path of understanding.
Yeah, Star Chasers of Senegambia on PBS. If you YouTube that, even if I can get the title right, should be able to find it, Tay. Sit down and watch that with your children. Anybody who have children, that PBS documentary is phenomenal. And actually, that scientific endeavor just happened last year, I believe. It wasn't too long ago. And it has
that video is a couple of years old. They just re-aired it.
Right.
You'll see in that video, they are actually on the continent doing science with telescopes that you can actually go in the store and buy, you know, for what they were doing, because they were tracking asteroids.
An asteroid, old asteroids.
It's the same. They use the same exact telescopes that I got for that, you know, lane of research. So you get you a telescope. It's not a toy. You can actually do something with it. You know, because that's what when you go back and look at that video Miss Juju just mentioned, you'll see that's a telescope you can go in the store and buy.
Oh, come on, Anthony, man. You the one you gotta come on, man. It's a lot of money there, bro.
No, the one that was in the PBS special.
They paid, come on, man.
The Star Chasers of Senegambia.
And you know what? It was NASA
really
that sent them all that equipment. NASA sent it to them. You know what I'm saying?
But there's also it's also a bigger story on how science can improve upon the lives of everyday people, no matter where you're at and no matter what religion you are, what you're doing. And I think that was one of the significant parts for me, because Senegal and Gambia are highly religious states, and there was some religious implications where they weren't trying to deal with scientific tools to do certain things, and he basically showed them how science can actually improve upon their religion. So
he faked them out.
No, I think it was had to do with Ramadan,
did not
right?
fake them out.
Yeah,
fake them out, yo.
No, he did not fake them out. It had to do with Ramadan. They have to find the crescent of the moon, and by having a telescope, which they were still trying to use the astrolabe, it helped them to be more accurate. I'm just saying, but
fake them out.
That's a little tidbit on that.
Help them see the moon better.
Hey, but that's a good example of how.
Oh, hell no.
That's a good example of how the two can exist, but you know, one is holding the other back a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
A little bit.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a fight now. If everybody just would tighten up and get some and really start being literate in science, we wouldn't have had these arguments like this.
Okay, we almost done.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Serious as cancer. Oh, that's my favorite.
African, what's up? Go ahead, introduce yourself. Sorry.
Oh, you good. Yeah, this is Afro-culture. I just had a question for whoever, if you can answer it or if you know where to refer me to or whatever. But
probably be Starman.
Do you guys agree with the expansion originating from the singularity?
I don't, because there's no evidence for that at this time. But you know, as soon as the evidence is presented, hey, I'm on board. As long as the evidence stands up. But like I said, at this point in time, there's you don't find any singularities in nature. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even when you can't point to the first Homo sapiens sapien. You can't find it. You know what I'm saying? Or
prime populations.
Yeah, no such things.
So you don't find singularities nowhere in nature at this time. So that's why I'm gonna stay right there. You know, me personally, I don't until they find it. Then,
I know. I get your point though. The singularity, I didn't heard him talk about the singularity.
Yeah, but isn't it an inference? I mean, they go back to what, 10 to the minus 43 seconds.
Yeah,
I think that's so. I mean, it's almost like they're afraid to go to zero.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hard to
zero would be natural, right?
You know, it's hard to distinguish the differences. You know what I'm saying? Okay, take for instance like the Earth's atmosphere. Mm-hmm. We know it's in layers, but you can't, or better yet, a rainbow. You see all the different colors of the rainbow, but you can't pinpoint when green turns to blue or whatever. You just see a mixture, you know what I'm saying? But you can't find that one point where it goes from being one color to the next color. Or when you're dealing with time, that single point where you go from 1 second to 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? When is that? Where does that interaction takes place? Where is that? You know, you can't put your finger on it. So that, to me, my understanding, that would be the singularity, and you just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, from the, at least the way I understand it, from the experimental side right now, looking at, I think they look at experiments from CERN, right? When they create like these particles and these.
Well, they're not creating them; they're discovering them.
They're discovering
I'm
from.
with you.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're discovering these different particles, and so these are the same particles that they can see going back in time. But and everything lines up right to 10 to the minus 43.
Yeah.
But when this is what's interesting for me when you guys talk about this stuff, is that 0 is actually how we think about things, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. But scientists don't really want to go, or they don't have evidence beyond 10 to the minus 43. I think that's what you're saying.
Exactly.
But if you had evidence of that, that would be theoretically, I guess, a singularity, right?
Well, it depends. I mean, you still have to define what the singularity would be.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, he fighting for intelligent design. Yeah.
Don't do it.
And
wrong.
Well, yeah.
It was intelligent design to put that one space.
Guilty as charged.
It's a good fight, Ron. I tell you that,
good
boy.
Fight, Ron, but let it
guilty as
charged.
Guilty as charged, but that's another story.
You got two subjects still fighting no matter what.
Guilty as charged, yeah.
That 10 to the negative 43 run, that's a stop sign right there.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Now, like you said, everything beyond that, 10 to the negative 42 and back, or whatever the case may be, counting, that's theoretical. So that's where most people are gonna fill in the gap with whatever they believe.
I admit I was trying to slide it in. So.
I know.
But see, don't forget, Ron.
I got caught.
Hey, Ron, don't forget.
Got your hand caught.
Don't forget, Ron, when you're scientifically literate, they can't drag you down to that level. You see what I'm saying?
This is my speculation, right?
That's speculation.
We're gonna acknowledge that stop sign at 10 to the negative 43. We're gonna stop right there.
I understand.
Take that question on the board, and then we'll let the beautiful Sakina introduce yourself. And
Thank you.
Don't come up here. Don't
appreciate.
No. I need Anthony to address the question on the board though for Ms.
Yes, Ms. Valisa. We actually
he wanted to do it tonight, ma'am.
Yeah, we got the capabilities to get going. It's just that the weather don't want to act right, you know. But yeah, the Space Age African Astronomy Club is kicking.
Yeah, I got to join up. It's $1 million to join. Go ahead, send your checks and money. Write it out.
It's 100 million.
And we're gonna have Patreon pages and all that. So yeah.
Miss Sakina, holla at the people, sis. What's going on? Thank you for hitting the panel.
Peace to you, my good sister, Miss Sakina. Thank you for joining.
Peace, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Take the comment out of face. We can't even see you. She got you blocked out.
You better leave Sakina alone.
No, you gotta take the comment.
I'm enjoying the show. I just
it's my fault.
Came up for the element chart. I want to really get into this chart right quick. So if I have questions, because I've been waiting on this chart for a minute, but this is a great conversation getting into the Big Bang and going a little further. I'm kind of disturbed about the comic book theory of the multiverse. Right, knowing that look, I don't have time for Aunt looking at me like that. Right, because we know as far as we can see, and we know science said that as far as we can see. And so we're gonna rock with that right now because I appreciate this show tonight because I'm actually going into the multiverse. The Batman show, right?
Okay, that's cute. That's cute. That's cute.
That's
so
Dr. Strange, Miss.
I'm going into the Batman show this Saturday. And so right. So because we know as y'all said that it's as far as we can see. Right. And so we also know that the Hubble has two telescopes, right?
No, Hubble it's just one telescope, but it has many different instruments on it.
Okay, so we talking about I can't think of the name of the one that sees a little further.
James Webb.
No, not James Webb. I think it started with an R.
What? James Webb has seen the farthest. That's
well, the Webb is the newest. And
no, not. Okay, it's three. They actually have three. One
you're
is
talking about Icarus. You're talking about Icarus.
Icarus.
Okay, so that's the one that sees a little.
Euclid. I'm sorry, Euclid.
Okay, so one of them sees a little farther, and but either way it go, it still only digests as much as we can see. So that's the whole thing on the whole aspect of multiverse. So again,
the multiverse. That's what you gonna rock with that.
Well, listen, I'm only bringing in. Listen, my empowerment, as far as the multiverse or any aspect in the cosmos, is only to show a connection. As above, so below. So I don't do what y'all do because I don't know what y'all know. So that's not what I do.
What you talking?
So,
what the hell are you talking about?
Understand where I'm going. I don't do what y'all do because I don't know what y'all know. I'm only showing a connection as above, so below. You have to rock with that. If you watch what I do, then you could understand where I go. Okay, I did do a show to show the man on Mars, or not the mission to Mars, right? Because that showed two different missions. Elon Musk's mission was not the same as the other mission to Mars. That's two different missions. We have to understand that. Elon Musk's mission to Mars was not the same as the Artemis mission. The Artemis mission was a mission to the moon. That's a whole different mission. Although it's preparing for a mission to Mars on its own, but it's actually the mission to the moon. Elon Musk has a mission to Mars solely. That's SpaceX. That's a whole different mission. That's to sustain life on Mars. That's Elon Musk, but that's also a mission to the Mars for a whole mission. But there's a mission as far as it's called Orion. That mission is to the moon. So these are two different missions, right? But the name of it was Mission to Mars because the mission was to have the first Black woman on the moon. Period. So my thing, again, I'm talking about two different things. But I want to get back into this element chart because I'm only showing a connection. As far as two different things, y'all are more.
You got me. I don't know what the hell you just talking about just now.
Y'all didn't get what I said.
I'm sitting there saying,
where is you lost at so I can explain?
I was lost at the mission, but it wasn't a mission, but it was a mission, but it was a mission in the mission before the mission. At first, I thought you were talking about you and what your mission was on Earth and what my mission was on Earth.
Okay, listen, I'm showing the connection. Listen, if I show you a connection as far as like what do we have in common as far as what science shows? My last show I did was
drop your link in the chat too for your show.
Okay. My last show was about
as above, so as below.
But it was about I showed the cancer and the cancers in the sky and the cancer connection as we see it in our bodies. So it was about the celestial body. No, it was about the celestial body. Now, what's the connections in the celestial body? One, you have a celestial body in the sky, but then you have your natural body is in your body. So we have
Is that pseudo?
No, it's not pseudo. Why? Because you use a telescope, one source of telescopes, two telescopes that they use for the celestial body to see the outside, which is the outside of the celestial body. But we use the other kind of sources of telescopes for us to see our inner sides of the body, right?
Huh?
Okay,
yes,
and that's still a telescope or a form of telescope.
You mean when we look in a
Juju, go ahead.
A microscope.
Like,
a microscope. You mean a microscope, right?
An X-ray
exactly.
A telescope versus a microscope.
Macro and micro.
Correct.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, you said a micro universe
so this
and
is
a macro universe.
Exactly. So then what are we saying? Exactly. So now we're going into the two things that they do have in common was cancers. You have the cancer as in astronomy, you have the cancer as in the cellular cancer, then you have the cancer as in the disease. They two have things in common as far as formation.
Right? Correct? Astrology.
Right.
Cancer
astrology, but you have the astronomy that works on cancers, and then you have a different listen here.
Yeah,
right.
That's the only way we can get is to actually take your class.
Because I'm looking at somebody saying I'm satellite high. Every time I talk, somebody gotta say I gotta be high.
You don't smoke weed, do you?
Right. You see what I'm saying? Just because I'm drawing. Listen, if I smoke or not, that ain't got nothing to do with me having to be high. Listen here. Just if I smoke or not, do I gotta be high every time I talk?
No. It'd be called highership. If you was, I was just asking you. Make sure you want to go higher.
Yeah, the we don't do the same
I
thing.
Smoke, but I don't.
We don't do the same thing.
Well, see,
listen, but they don't have.
Can you hear me?
They don't have nothing to do.
Yeah,
do your thing, shorty. We good.
We don't do the same thing. What you do is metaphysical.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's not.
I appreciate it though. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I watched it. Because I mean, you said we didn't watch it, but I actually did watch it today. I took time out on my 16-hour shift to watch it, and I thought it was super dope.
Yeah, I just like you, Sakine. I like your personality. I like your jokes, right? You know, I appreciate the support you give us. I be thinking you pseudo as hell sometime, but you know what I know. I don't know.
You're black face. Sorry,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna sit up and lie to you, but I just appreciate you though, yo. I appreciate your honesty.
I appreciate you too.
Yeah,
it's funny. I was just trying to figure out what mission do.
Well, you know.
I still ain't figured that one out. I thought you was saying we come to Earth with the different missions. Your mission, my mission, Mars mission, Elon Musk mission. Boy, you funny, boy. You funny.
Listen, astrology is not super science, pseudoscience.
It is.
It
can
be. Let me tell you why.
Let's say that better. Let me ask.
Let her get a thing off. Let her get a balls off. Why?
Let me tell you why. Because the astrology was there, regardless to whenever you came into thought process. The astrology was there when the birth chart was there. So whether or not you want to fall into line with it, right? The names were there, the dates were there, the months were there, right? So whether you want to fall into Chinese astrology, American astrology, or whatever astrology, it's still there. Whether you want to call it in the cosmos, calling it a scorpion, or calling it Saturn, or calling it whatever you want to call it, it's still going to be what it is, even though it's recognized
as what?
Right?
As Can we read the screen? Read the screen.
That says recognized.
You read the screen? Read the screen.
Astrology is arranges a divinatory practices recognized as scientific since the 18th century that propose that information about human affairs and terrestrial events may be discerned by studying the apparent positions of celestial objects.
There you go.
Come on, then.
See, was she trying to say that?
You don't got to read nothing else.
Yes.
You ain't got to read nothing else.
No, I ain't reading.
We ain't reading
nothing. But what it basically boils down to is in astrology, you see Mars go in retrograde. It's not in retrograde, it's just the Earth passing by it in its orbit. But in science, you see the moon Triton going around Neptune in retrograde. It's actually going against the orbit of everything else, all the other moons. So we see the phenomenon of retrograde when it comes down to moons of other planets, but in astrology, where it calls for Mars to turn around and go back the other way and then turn, that's in astrology. That doesn't happen in nature. That's just, like I say, the Earth moving past Mars in their orbits. So that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Astrology tells us that a planet changes direction, and science tells us that that doesn't happen. But science has found a moon going in the opposite direction, which is retrograde. It's actually moving in retrograde. So we get those terms mixed up, and it's all because of what one believes versus what one knows.
Can prove and
that
know.
makes
But
sense.
did Titan actually change directions, or was it always going that opposite direction?
It's been doing that since the beginning. And the way they think what happens is it was captured by Neptune's gravity. And as it was moving towards it, it just stayed on that path. And that's the path that is moving on right now to this day, where everything else is going in the opposite direction.
Neptune?
So
I'm sorry.
it's not believed to have formed that way, but it was formed farther out, but it was captured by Neptune's gravity. And that's why it's doing it. That's what we believe. That's what the evidence shows. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say what we believe, but that's what the evidence shows. So what they do, they take
off that natural rules. We argue with somebody, yo. Didn't we?
That was Morpheus.
Yeah, we ain't seen him since.
That was more. We haven't. We was talking about the other day. We hadn't seen him since that whole.
He's still mad at me. He said, "I'll let y'all attack him."
No, we just addressed them. We didn't attack him. Perhaps we attacked information. We addressed it. That's it. Come on, people.
But that's basically the issue when it comes down to astrology and astronomy. You know.
Okay,
like
now
I say,
my question is now where Neptune is different from what?
Neptune is a planet. It's one of the outer planets.
Okay, and so what other planets was involved in this that made Neptune different from the rest?
Well, Neptune itself is not different. It's what it is that one moon, Triton. That one moon is orbiting Neptune in the opposite direction of all the other moons that are believed to have formed with Neptune. So you had using computer simulations based off of the evidence that they run all that backwards. And what they did, in order for it to make sense, Neptune and Uranus crossed paths within their orbit around the sun. So that shook up a lot of stuff in the outer solar system, what they call the Kuiper belt. That's where Pluto is and orbits and all that. They found a lot of small planets and moons out there. They think that based off of the simulations, Uranus and Neptune crossed, they crossed paths. So, and they basically swapped positions. And that stirred up a lot of stuff out in the Kuiper belt. Like I said, things started coming in, things started getting thrown out. And one of those things that got drawn in was that moon Triton. And it orbits Neptune. It got caught in a gravitational pull going in the opposite direction of everything that was formed with Neptune. So that's the story. That's what the evidence points to today. So that's where we at with that. So it didn't form with the planet Neptune. It was captured.
Got a question for you, Anthony. Sorry. Can you address the question on the screen real quick?
So is it in a different planet's gravitational pull that makes it?
Oh, he said you just answered the question.
From my understanding, it's like I said, it was traveling in. Neptune was in the right position at the right time. It got close enough to be captured by the gravitational effects of Neptune. Or basically think about, like I was saying earlier, how space is, if you look at space as time and space woven together like a fabric, you put Neptune on that fabric, it's going to cause an indentation. If you're bringing Triton in on a trajectory, moving at a certain speed, it gets close enough to Neptune where it gets caught in that well that's made by the mass of Neptune's effect on that fabric of space and time. So it gets caught in that well, and now it's traveling in that same direction. It's going around the planet, whereas everything else that was formed with that planet is moving in the same direction that the planet is spinning. So this is going against the spin of the planet. So that's what makes it odd or a phenomenon. It's going against the norm of what we understand when it comes down to planet and moon formation. And Jupiter has done the same thing, but none of those objects are moving in retrograde. All the other planets that have moons in this solar system, all the moons are moving in the same direction except that one. That one moon is moving in the opposite direction of all the other moons in the solar system. So that's what makes it the oddball, the phenomenon, whatever you want to call it. It's different, but it's caused by capture instead of formation.
Ladies and gentlemen, yo, you've been on fire tonight, Anthony.
It's been a minute. I had a lot built up.
I see. Golly. I'm like, yo, I'm just turn my camera off because
I love this.
I was doing some stuff for 16 hours. I was trying to get it in, but yeah, they loving it. You dropping good info, but we are at the 2-hour mark. We ain't want to make this too long, but we got a couple more points, and I feel like I want to finish them out. Plus, we're gonna do our we're gonna dedicate this show to a scientist because it's our way of teaching you about scientists who look like us, so we can combat white man science because there is no such thing. So instead of talking about it, we're gonna be about it. And we're gonna show and prove, right? That's what we're gonna do. So we got 2 more points, and then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Is that cool with the panel? Yes, y'all say yeah. Everybody, yeah. But I'll let you ask some questions. I just want to finish the point. So I think this is number 4 on the list. This is a Big Bang nucleosynthesis. This would be a little bit more intricate, but this is getting into the creation of certain elements, and that's why I showed the periodic chart. Because these elements were created either during the Big Bang or they were created during stellar evolution. And when we say stellar evolution, we mean to stars being born, to kilonova events, supernovas, all kind of stuff. And we kind of went through that in our stellar series. Okay, I think that was season 2. So y'all can go and check those shows out, and you can learn about kilonovas, a little bit on supernovas. It did a lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm burnt out, so I can't even remember. But I'm just gonna explain the periodic chart, my little 2 cents, and then Anthony's gonna give it to y'all. Quick, Anthony, okay? But dang, we need to do another show this week, cause geez. I look, I'm prepared. I told you I was doing this for a couple hours, doing all kind of stuff.
Hey,
so
I'm free Saturday morning.
All right. We might get it in Saturday morning, do a little something, maybe address some kind of like off the wall subjects, but they're interesting and people are interested in. We'll see about that. But this chart, just quickly, so this is the perfect periodic chart, which is the number one tool for chemists, okay? The periodic chart. Astrophysicists use it also. But the colors are the most important because the colors will tell you how these elements came to be in existence. As you can see, helium and hydrogen. And you see a lot of that scientists, astrophysics, speaking on helium and hydrogen, especially when they are talking about the Big Bang, because those items are the only two, well, partly lithium also in there. And I think that had to go something with the nucleosynthesis, some stuff.
Yeah.
Not too much science and math, but by the show, when we get this, I'll have it. I just got to read it like 1,000 times and read some other sources to really grasp the information. But there's a lot going on with ions and electrons, and it's a lot of physics going on for real. But helium, lithium, parts of it, and hydrogen, all created during the Big Bang. And then you have the Big Bang, dying low mass stars, and hopefully if you dealt with that stellar evolution show, you remember, low mass stars and high mass stars, explosive massive stars, human synthesis, no stable isotopes. So we did that.
Hey, wasn't that our very first show, Miss Juju, when we was talking about this stuff and the merging neutron stars?
We did. We went over it, but it's always helpful to reiterate, right? Because
no doubt.
It's for me, I understand it 10,000 times better now than I did then. I'm not going to even lie. You get what I'm saying? Because now I'm familiar with all the concepts. This is the key up here. That when you look at a map or a chart, that when they have the squares with the colors that tell you what the colors mean on the chart, that's the key. So now I know what each of these things actually are in the key. That makes it different for comprehension, right? So what do you got? Cosmic ray fusion, merging neutron stars, exploding white dwarfs, dying lower mass, Big Bang, human synthesis. Those are how you get elements. It's probably more that we plan to discover. We talk about the young African-American woman who discovered an element, tellurium, I believe it was.
A young woman at that. She was very young.
Claudia Patrice, I believe it was. If you Google her, it should come up. So yeah, and I think when we get in the conversation about elements, elements, I say, I go say that until I can source out. But no, I think I can say with confidence that elements had a lot to do with us being forged, life on Earth being forged. It's it's the perfect storm. It's the perfect circumstance. You first of all, you got the Goldilocks area. You feel me? And then you have all these astronomical events happening at a specific period in time to create a specific circumstance.
So you're saying it was finely tuned, Juju?
I'm sorry?
Saying it was finely tuned?
Yeah, no, I ain't finna know.
No. What it is, Miss Juju?
I'm not finna do.
I'm gonna answer.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna let you answer it. But for my 2 cents, it's not that it's finely tuned. Just like how we discover different scientific things, through serendipity. I feel like that's the same way things were forged or came to be. It's not so much that it was planned or it was finely tuned or it was designed. It was just that perfect circumstance. That's it. Because if it had to been 1 degree off or 1 like neutron or ion off or any of those little simple things, it wouldn't be what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that. Go ahead.
That's I like the way you put that, Miss Juju, but I'm gonna in simpler terms, Ronald, we are a byproduct of the processes that's going on in the universe.
That too.
Period.
Yeah.
That's what the evidence say. You know what I'm saying? Because if there was an intelligent designer or somebody in a simulation doing all this, why wasn't people here from the start? Why did we have to evolve to where we at now? You know, why did plants have to evolve? And why did animals and insects? Man, if you really want to get into some deep evolution, look into insects.
Yeah.
Dude, why is that so? You know, why do they see, when you look back in time, you can see these subtle changes that leads to evolution? You know what I'm saying? That's the question that I have when it comes down to that. But why are we here? There ain't no why. We are a byproduct of the processes that are happening in the universe, period. Because you cannot leave this planet without taking this atmosphere and the fuel that you need for your body with you, period. But yeah, there's oxygen, there's H2O, all that shit all over the universe. But you can't get to none of it. None of it without taking what you need or what you evolve to be in on this earth with you, if that makes sense. So we're just a byproduct, dog.
Well, maybe do it, Pastor Star, man. You better
enjoy it and learn as much as you can.
I hear you. It's interesting. It would be an interesting discussion. I'm not sure if this is the time and place for it, but
not tonight.
Yeah, I like
my eyes red, y'all.
Some other time.
I got some spaghetti.
That's a fact, there, Fetty. You're absolutely right about that comment on the screen now. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. And our final. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry, Miss Juju. But that periodic chart, that one is special to me in this show, because it shows how those elements were forged.
Correct.
And like Miss Juju was explaining about the ones in blue, the hydrogen and the helium and the small amount of lithium.
Correct.
When we look back and we use spectroscopy to analyze the light, the further back you look, the more hydrogen and helium you find. You know what I'm saying? So with those two being the first elements which were forged in the Big Bang itself, those are the most abundant. But the further you get in time, the more elements you find listed on that element chart.
Fact.
So you got iron, silicon, carbon, oxygen. You got all that stuff where we are today. But the further back you look in time, you do not find those elements. All you find is hydrogen, helium, and a little bit of lithium at the furthest points that we can observe light. That's what makes that chart so deep, because it tells you how. And if you go back through our series,
and when
you said about the stars, see, that's why I wanted to do the stars first, so you can get an understanding of how things are, or these elements are forged. Then it takes gravity to bring all those elements together and form a star. That star, supernovas, but the elements that were forged inside of it are spread throughout the universe. And then gravity pulls them back in together. Now you got a different generation of a star. It's forging more elements. And then you got these mergers happening, neutron stars colliding and white dwarfs exploding. Well, those are all cores of stars.
Correct.
That's where those elements are locked at, within the core. And when that core explodes, it disperses, something happens, gravity starts mixing all this stuff up together and pulls it together, and now you got our solar system, which is a third generation star. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that element chart, that's why it's so important, you know, to understand how those elements are forged and then how they're laid out on that chart. Then you can get an understanding of the evolution of the universe.
Correct.
So there's certain things that you see now that you're not going to find in the early universe because it wasn't created yet. You know what I'm saying? Oxygen wasn't there in the beginning.
Right.
It was only hydrogen and helium if you're looking at that chart. So to me, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, I think it's deep. I think that was my favorite part of stellar evolution, is to see again how elements that we know now today on the periodic table to be formed by those different types of stellar evolution, whether it was birth or a death or the afterlife. I don't know. But to see that, so you know, these events create elements. So it actually takes the birth of a star to the death of the star to come up with some of these elements. It's a very interesting circle of life, so to speak, almost in a sense of I was to compare it. You know what I'm saying? Because you need all of that to get those elements. And maybe I'm saying circle of life because again, like you said, we're a byproduct of all that's taken place in the cosmos. Pretty much.
Like I said, the processes are amazing. You know, the universe. Look, you don't need to make shit up. It's enough going on. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to make nothing up.
Exactly.
I mean, when you really start digging into it, you know, and the universe it's amazing. And like I said, you have to stop me because shit, I can go on and on.
No,
you know?
This is the thing. This is exactly my whole point, is that you don't have to make it up. And that this was an excellent show, I agree. Right. And so without explaining it, you explained it, y'all explained it. And that's my whole narrative, right? Is that this element chart, right, explained everything that was in the space we already had by the time we hit Earth, right? So in my explanation, in my presentations, this is what the connection is. If we were not where we are in this earth, we have all the nutrients, the irons, the vitamins, the sources that we need. Why? Because we are within the atmosphere. We are on Earth. We have our water. We have our all our elements within. But if we were not, right? Because I always use my kids for references. Why? Because that's what I raised. But if my kids were not want to play with each other, or would not want to do whatever, if they were in this world by themselves, they would be a planet all to themselves. Like we call them the big red planet, or the one that's mean or full of heat or full of this or this and that. Well, then you would be a planet solely to yourself. With all that anger, with all that frustration, with all that element, with all that, that's what you would be, solely to yourself. But you're not. You're in this world with everybody else. So this is all my whole inner being self. This is all I'm saying, right? It's a whole nother way to look at it, universally, interconnectedly, as above, so below. This is all I'm saying. So this again was a wonderful thing. But y'all go a little too deep for me because y'all know a little more than me, you know. So
I wasn't blessed with this knowledge, Miss.
No, I understand it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm here.
This is my lane. This is what I like. This is where my interests lie. This is where I had the most questions, you know what I'm saying? And I just sought answers. And I learned to lean on the people that actually do the work and not the, you know, now what you teach your kids, I mean, that's fine. What, like I said, I don't have a problem with what nobody believe, none of that. If whatever makes you the best person you can be, hey, I can rock with it. But please just, you know, within that, help them understand what we actually know, whether we believe it or just teach them to be objective. You know what I'm saying? And to always question themselves, because like I said, we can believe what we want, but the fact of the matter is evolution is a fact. It's backed up by evidence. There was not a first human. We don't, you can't find the first Homo sapiens sapien.
I don't teach that. That's my thing.
No, what I'm saying is we have to understand that there are processes that take place in nature. And science helps us understand those with evidence. You know what I'm saying? And you're absolutely right when you say, this is what we do over here at the PseudoKillas. This is what we're all about on all subjects. We are following the experts and the evidence. We are getting an understanding of the evidence. And that's what I'm trying to bring to you guys, me and Miss JuJu, with this show. Now, now when it comes down to, you know, the way you want to explain it, I don't really understand that, but if it works for you and your family and your household, hey, I ain't got no problem with it. But
no, I'm talking about how I presented it on my show is what I do is I go into my sources, I read on all my various sources, I put my presentation together, I put my video.
I checked you out. Yeah, you know, I've been over there.
So I back it up to make sure, because I can't go off of what I want to think or believe.
But right? What I was gonna say is, let your kids watch this show too.
I do that. You know what I'm saying? My kids don't even watch my show, being honest, because all my kids is grown and being on their own busy. And so, as far as being in a conscious community, right, if they be on Facebook or whatever, however they doing, right? But my grandson pops in and out. That I will say, because he waiting on the space age thing.
Yeah, well, that's what
me and him was gonna do together. So that's what he waiting on, right? And so that
astronomy club is what you're talking about, right?
Right. For the we're going out. We supposed to be going out with our telescopes and doing the space age telescope.
SpaceAgeAfrican Astronomy Club is what it is. But we haven't been active because there hasn't been any clear skies. It doesn't make any sense to try to have it, you know, to sit there and look at each other, look at a blank screen, because you can't get anything, right? You can't see any images. Things like that. So that's why. But we will be getting back into it.
But I'm not going to be in the sky too much longer. I'm about to come down, and we about to hit the ground in a minute.
Right. But I got to make a statement. I have to be fair. I like your shows. I think they're pretty awesome. They're interesting. That's you. That's your personality. That's you know, pretty much what you adhere to in life. But I just have to make the statement that some of those things aren't science. They're still, again, metaphysical. They're still again drawing. I want to finish my statement. They're still again drawing on comparisons between different what I want to say in I don't want to use that word.
Ideologies.
No, what I want to say is different things that perpetuate life. You know, whether it's the universe, whether it's the human body, and I get that. You know, but so what I got from your last show though, that is definitely, you know, some of the ways that maybe some of our ancient cultures drawed upon their belief systems, because they too saw, you know, certain similarities. You know, even going into Egypt, there's one particular photo and it shows a certain symbol. It looks like a symbol around the woman's breast, perhaps a flower. You know what it is? It's the milk glands in our breasts, you know, that the Egyptians knew about because of their observations of the human body, so to speak.
Okay, well, you might have went in it more deeper than I was. I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm sorry, but all I was drawing a connection to was the celestial body and the natural body, right?
Yeah, and there's two things bring upon life. So I don't know
Exactly.
how that was deep. That's
then
exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, and then it kind of went into cancer, like the formation of cells, be it the cluster cells and the stars and the cluster cells and the disease, and the two different kinds of scopes, telescopes, or these the scopes, or the different kind of radiation or microscopes they use for the cancers. That's the only connections.
Right, but what would you categorize that? Is that you explaining something? That's how you feel? Because that would not be science, though.
No, well, the science was the telescopes, and then the equipment that the ornithologists use, the data processes, and the way that they go about, right? Because they're strange bedfellows. So the way that they both have to use their equipment, the way that they have to analyze, the way that they have to record, the way that they detail their work, right? The way that they have to go into their theories, into the discoveries and whatnot. These are the things that they have in common. Now, as far as the disease is a little more different, because this is a person that's describing and curing a cancer as in a treatment. But the other one, as far as discovering and going into the sky and the stars, well, the celestial body is an ongoing thing. This is a whole different body of sky. This is a whole different thing, but it was still a body again. So the body of the universal body and your natural body, I was just drawing a connection saying the bodies. That's all.
Okay, so
the way they look at the bodies on the inside, well, of course you can't look at the celestial body on the inside, but far as with a telescope, that's the same way they looking at it with the MRIs and the PET scans and the whatever scans. It's the same thing.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, though. We got two more things we want to discuss. I want to talk about our scientists we're dedicating this show to, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But unless there are any more questions or anybody want to hop on the panel, but the last part that we're going to be dealing with is, I think this one's going to be fun.
Yeah.
This one is going to be about galaxy evolution. Did I even share? Yeah, so we talked about this earlier. The picture that you see is from the Hubble, and this is the deep field photo. And I think this is the one that we were talking about, that is literally a dime in diameter, about 7 to 8 feet, or just take your arm and put it up in the air and then put the dime up. And that space that the dime fills is how we got all this, is where all this is. So it like when we talked about earlier, the center of the galaxy, how would you measure the center of a galaxy when we can't even fathom the entirety of the universe? Okay. Because in that dime, and in that space of the dime that we're looking at as we put our hands up to the sky, there are millions and millions of galaxies, billions of stars, and other astronomical events and objects. So mind blowing. But very quickly in evolution, we're going to be. I'm not going to do no more readership for y'all. Formation. We're going to speak on spiral galaxy bars, collisions, mergers. I know this sounds the same, but it's not. Very interesting. And galactic cannibalism. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to get into all that. I think that's going to be a fun show. Already got lots of graphics for that, and I definitely will find you some interactive visuals because I love interactive visuals, visuals that move. That's deep filled. I will show you a couple more photos concerning is this one? Did I do that right? I'll be tripping, boy. Concerning galaxy evolution. So here's another one. And this looks like a galaxy that's about to merge. This one is a galaxy that is colliding. I'm gonna do these quick.
Yeah.
And so that's awesome. Then I'll try to find you all types, but we can show galaxies that have been eaten up, right? And they say what in 4.5 billion years, the Milky Way galaxy and Andromeda will actually merge or collide. Which one will it be, Anthony?
It's gonna merge.
It's going to merge.
Well, they're gonna collide first, but eventually they're gonna
collide
merge
and then they'll merge. All right. So yeah, that's what we got. And we could take some more questions. Shoot, let me see where we at. All right, y'all got 20 minutes though. But somebody was like, keep it going. Zane. Hi, Zane. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and do our dedication to our scientists today. But before I get into that, I just want to remind everybody, especially like Herbert Goss and others, if you felt confused, it's okay. You can go through the description box, get those sources. You can go through them, at your own time if you like. But just remember, all the subject matters that we mentioned tonight, we're gonna go through more in depth as we do each show for them. We just wanted to show you the cosmology of astrophysics, the cosmology of the universe, okay? Which encompasses everything about it, learning about it, studying it, knowing it. But today, we dedicate this show and we present to you one of my favorites. This man is super phenomenal, y'all. Yeah, you know it. If anybody can tell me if you know who this is. If you don't know who this is I don't know what's going on here. Give me just a minute. Oh, there we go. This is Hakeem Oluseyi. So I know a little bit about him. I know he's a cap. I know he's an astrophysicist. I know that he had a tough childhood and he went through probably every obstacle one can imagine for an African-American male in the United States. And he was able to endure all that, surpass all those obstacles, and become probably one of the most popular astrophysicists that we know. So I will do a little readership here because this man is quite phenomenal. And if you have not actually tried to learn, study, or read on any of the scientists that I give you should have read on all of them. They're all equally important. He definitely can relate to maybe I'm assuming, but for me anyway, as an African American woman, and how I grew up, he definitely can. I can relate to some of the obstacles he went through in life, and some of them that I overcame. Also, to attend college and to do those great accomplishments in life but that seems so far in the distance when you grow up in certain environments, grow up in a certain lifestyle or whatnot. So really quickly, Dr. Hakeem Olusei, author in the critically acclaimed memoir, A Quantum Life, My Unlikely Journey from the Streets to the Stars, and an internationally recognized astrophysicist, science personality, global educator advocate, and in another bio said cosmologist. So that's where I got it from. I think it was in his wiki article. But anyway, education advocate who has had a long distinguished career in academic and science. Most recently, he was stationed at NASA headquarters where he served as astrophysicist and a space science educator lead for NASA Science Mission Directorate. In addition, he was a professor of aerospace physics and space sciences at the Florida Institute of Technology since 2007. A former TED Fellow, Dr. Olusei holds 3 degrees, 8 U.S. patents, 4 European patents, and co-hosts several shows on Science Channel and Discovery International, including outrageous acts of sciences, how the universe works, space, deepest secrets, strange evidence. You have been warned, and Strip of the Cosmos.
Hey, Miss Juju, I'm sorry, but what have y'all heard that How the Universe Works on the Discovery Channel before? Well, y'all heard that? That's what I tell y'all to look at all the time.
My brain
all
fried.
the
I'm
time.
Sorry. I'm on Robot. How the Universe Works. Oh yeah, your TV show.
Yeah,
definitely. Isn't that on Netflix or something or Disney?
It's on. I know you can find it on Discovery. Discovery
Channel.
Yeah, but it's on the Discovery Plus app.
Discovery Plus app.
It comes on Discovery Science, on the Discovery Science channel. You know, Discovery has a lot of different channels.
Okay.
That particular show that he's on, and he's on there a lot.
He's very visible. I see him everywhere.
And he's very humorous too. I mean, he's funny.
Yeah. He is. He has a great personality.
But I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just had to, remind y'all that's a deep show. It's a whole series.
How the Universe Works, y'all. Y'all better go watch that before Anthony take 10 demerits. So where I got this from is called Leading Authorities Bureau. And I believe this is his agency because he is a science communicator. So he does lectures or whatnot. Because it actually asked me, when do we want him to come speak? Like put in time and date, see when he's available. I might just do that to see what's up. You know what I'm saying? Tell him I know some of his Kappa Alpha Psi brothers and see, you know what I'm saying? See if he'll look up. I'm just kidding. But anyway, success is even more impressive given his incredible personal background and story, motivating audiences globally with the message of persevering past naysayers, self-doubt, and seemingly immovable obstacles. He is exclusively represented by Leading Authority speakers, y'all. Yeah, I told you. So Dr. Olusei grew up in the roughest parts of neighborhoods in the country. He changed school roughly 10 times. I don't think I'm going to go through all that. I actually put this link in the chat. You can read it, but he's from Louisiana. He got his PhD and his master's from Stanford. He's an invention. So some of his inventions has to do with microchips. He revolutionize particular techniques as far as microchips go. A very accomplished individual at that. Let me get it right here. Here it is. I want to read like the really good stuff. Okay. His scientific research is based on hacking stars to develop innovative new technologies and better understanding of our universe, leveraging techniques for interpreting electromagnetic radiation, laboratory plasma physics, computational modeling, machine learning, time domain contributions to astrophysics, cosmology, semiconductor manufacturing, ion propulsion. His science education research has resulted in highly effective and efficient divergent techniques for teaching mathematics and physics to learners of all ages. In addition to being the president of the National Society of Black Physicists, Another Black organization y'all should check out, actually. And I say this because a lot of these Black organizations provide scholarships and different things like that for youth going into those certain fields. Okay? Trust me. I went to college. I forged signatures to get to college. I applied for every scholarship ever known to man. I mean, at least I tried. So I'm trying to give you some of the tricks of the trade when it comes to trying to get your child in college. So write that down. Dr. Olise has won several honors, including selection as 2018 Communication Award from the National Space Club. He's got a lot of awards. I'm going to skip that. National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame. That's a good one. 2012 TED Global Fellow. I like that one. U.S. State Department Speaker and Specialist and Outstanding Technical Innovation and Best Paper at the 2010 National Society for Black Engineers Aerospace System Conference. Bobby Banger, Dr. Mayat, and another gentleman just submitted a paper to them. So it's a real thing, y'all, right? The 2006 Physics Technical Achiever of the Year. I'm going to skip all that. So Dr. Olise is one of the world's most popular educators and science communicators. He regularly appears on news programs and has won or been nominated for several awards for science reporting, including one Emmy nomination for Webby Awards. His book, again, is A Quantum Life, My Unlikely Journey from the Streets to the Stars. I was trying to find his inventions. That might have been on another plate, but this is Dr. Hakeem Oluse. That is not the name he was born with. He did change it. I don't know necessarily if he's Muslim. It sounds like a Muslim name, but that doesn't necessarily have to be it. So maybe I can get y'all that information some other time. But that is our dedication to our scientists of the week. So add that to your list of scientists because I'm only giving y'all, gosh, at least 20, 25 between me and Anthony, if not 30. So yeah, no more Africulture concepts. You are hilarious. He's not Nigerian. He's American. He's from Louisiana. Just to let you know.
Hey, he got a pretty deep story too. His story pretty deep.
That's why I keep reading his book because I think that's going to be my next book. Africulture. I know you laughing. I'll always be in the chat, but I think that's going to be my next book. I've heard some people who read it and they said it's pretty awesome. And those are some people I know. So yeah, I think I want to get that book. Yeah, I think From Then Till Now said that he's on a show named Outrageous Acts of Science or something like that. Yeah,
that comes on Discovery Science as well.
Yeah, okay. So he likes the Discovery channel.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite channels. I look at that channel a lot. They got all kind of stuff on there. You know, they got shows about engineering disasters. You know, it's just it's deep. And I love my second love is trains, locomotives. Mm-hmm. So you know, I get a lot of stuff off of there. You know, I'm on that channel there.
Gotcha.
A lot.
So
I love trains too. I used to have a neighbor. Well, when I was growing up, they had it was an older old man. He had a train built in his backyard. Put it together. You know, they don't do that no more, I don't think. But you know how y'all have the old trains? Like my oldest son, I used to could buy him train sets with the tracks, the metal train. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't sell them like that no more. But
they do. They still sell them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They just hard. I mean, you got to go to like a specialty shop, but you know they don't have them in the regular stores anymore that much. But
wow,
yeah, they still sell them.
I seen. I'm gonna end with this. I went to the library around Christmas time up here, and they had the whole Christmas area with a whole train set. You know, the whole town. They had called it the train town. Yeah, mm-hmm. And it was. I was like, it was beautiful because you know I haven't seen one in a long time. So
well, I'm getting ready to put me one together. I got a whole room but I've been buying and collecting shit over the years. My bad. I'm sorry about that. buying, you know, things over the years. Now I got everything I want. So now I got me a whole room that that's what it's gonna be. That's all gonna be in there is my own world. I create.
And them cars too. And I'm gonna leave that too. Them cars, remember the cars you could put together with all
the model.
Yeah, my friend D Monty, one of my comedian friends, he have a lot of them. The old antique cars that when we were younger, he would put them together and stuff like that. He have a lot of them still right now. The open and closed doors where you had to put the engines together with the glue and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I used to watch him do that.
Y'all funny talking about that man. Definitely not Hebrew. He better not be.
No, but y'all need to check him out. He got a pretty deep story. Akeem Oluseyi.
Yeah,
it's pretty deep. He went through some trials and tribulations.
Oluseyi, my bad.
Yeah, Oluseyi, one of them. You know what I'm talking about.
No, Oluseyi probably, that sounds better. Yeah, that's it. Oluseyi. Well, we about giving y'all 3 hours. Y'all can keep going, but I'm not. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah,
my energy level is not quite, all together there yet. So I'm still struggling with some things. But Ronald Perkins, you have any final words? Y'all don't have to stop the show, but I'm gonna say goodnight, and then y'all can carry on for a little bit. I'll still be here, but I'll be eating my spaghetti. Ronald Perkins, did you have any final words if you're still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Just enjoyed the show as usual, and really enjoy the way you guys bring out the science. So that's a that's a big one for me. Even though I do have some differences about cosmology in terms of intelligent design, but again, that's a different story for a different time.
I enjoy it, and you're very intelligent on the science also. So
and I try to balance
enjoy it, Ronald. I really do, man. And even though we may have differences, we don't have to argue about it.
Exactly. So
we don't have to fuss and fight, because I really enjoy you, dude. You have some good questions and some good comments as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I appreciate you, bro.
I think you guys bring a different dimension to the community that I think is needed in terms of talking about STEM and those types of things. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to the growth of this this type of programming. So appreciate you guys. And anyway, I'm going to get off the line also, and wish everybody a good night.
Thank you, Ronald. Good night.
Appreciate you, bro. Have a good one, man.
All right, same to you.
Africulture, you still there? Any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say appreciate this great show. I hope y'all continue this. It is definitely refreshing to see people that look like me talking about stuff that I'm always thinking about for once. And keep it going. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Afric.
Appreciate you
for joining the panel. You're welcome back anytime, okay?
Yeah, anytime, bro. Appreciate you, man. We really do. And yeah, this gonna be our new date and time. Well, as of now, the day could change, but right now we're gonna rock with Wednesday.
Yeah, we rocking with 10.
I need to talk to you about that too, Miss Juju.
Okay.
For Kent's sake, you know what I'm saying? So I need to run something by you, but yeah, this is a good time for me, especially like if y'all want to, I can drop a Zoom link in the chat where y'all can see what I'm doing.
I'm dropping the link. I might be there. I might not be there, Anthony. But if people are still up and y'all still want the show keep going, SpaceAgeAfrican Astronomy Club is happening now because he has good skies. So
finally
link and see what he's doing. All right, because it's pretty awesome. He actually shows you, how to work the telescope. Some of the programs you can use to make your and what do you call them? Pictures, photos, images better. how that whole technology works. Felisa says she coming in, okay? So, and different things like that. I'll probably come in too. So yeah, make sure that y'all copy that link, and after this show, we'll do that. Sakina, any final words, sis?
Oh, this was an awesome show, y'all, as always. I learned so much. Listen, I'm gonna check my astrology thing. Not that I just want to see. They caught me by surprise. Not that I didn't know, but I didn't know. But again, this was an awesome show. We connected. I just see things. Like I said, I don't know what y'all know. I'm not gonna say I do. That's why I'm over here. To learn. But again, my connection and what I'm doing is a whole different thing. So I appreciate everything y'all do. So this was an awesome build, and I appreciate being here. I really appreciate y'all letting me up here. That element chart. Even though I wanted y'all to go a little deeper.
Not yet. You gotta wait for the show.
Yeah, that's, so I'm away.
Yeah.
Well, see, tonight was just an overview of the next 5 weeks.
I heard she said series.
So we're gonna
y'all finna go in.
Yeah, right. We're gonna go deeper into each subject. Like a whole show is gonna be dedicated to one subject. So we finna get it in. So I left y'all some links, and those links can lead to other links. And so I deal with like NASA a lot. I deal with European Space Association, because it's USA. But I probably got that wrong. Don't mind me right now. NASA. I said that right. Space.com, NASA. What's the other one? Science.com.
Yeah.
And the U.S. Space Association. I do a lot of that because NASA and the other space association, they have how shall I say, like extended access to other sites. So it's like hyperlinks to other things,
correct,
and stuff like that. So if you go in my description box and you're looking at those sources, use the hyperlinks or use the highlighted words, especially if it has to do with NASA. Space.com is really good for that. Okay. And they basically like break down different stuff, but not for nothing. Wikipedia is actually really good. It's very in depth, and when it comes to science, they're pretty much as accurate you're gonna get.
Well, I got a couple of links like Nova, and I got SpaceX and Nova, and
I don't do everybody. I just don't do everybody because I just don't do everybody. Because you can see, like, one of the sources I had, I never used that source. The wording wasn't like accurate, and that could create problems. Okay.
Well,
so
one thing
I can roll with that because that makes sense.
One thing I like about space.com is in just about all of their astronomy articles, they have the link to the actual paper that was submitted.
Exactly.
In that article. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and they deal with scientists and science communicators and people like that who are actually working in the field. You know what I'm saying? So there's some accountability there. I just want to say this real quick. Shout out to Alex Torres and Tay Brooks. We appreciate the support. Thank you for supporting us tonight. Thank you for showing up. That's to everybody, but they know
most definitely.
And I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. And thank everybody for coming out. We had almost a good 50 in here. That's really good. That's a really good turnout for season 3 of our Galaxy and Beyond. Anthony, you got any final words? Because once you say them final words, I'm already on yeah.
Yeah, y'all, like I said, that Zoom link, if y'all want to check out M13, a globular cluster, then y'all hit that Zoom link. But, you know, I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Matter of fact, I made 2 statements. When you're scientifically literate, they can't drag you down to their level and beat you up with experience. And the second one is, I'd much rather deal with questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. That's them 2 things right there. I actually live my life by. You know what I'm saying? It worked for me. So keep asking questions, keep looking up, and y'all join us next week. Maybe we might have an impromptu show Saturday.
We might do
it. We'll talk about it.
We gonna talk about it. But yeah, kinetic energy, we talk about all those people. We even talk about the space station in South Africa. So yeah, we do that. We know about them. I've actually been to Japan's space station website, and it's pretty neat. So you can see the collaboration in science. So it's not and NASA's not the only authority. Okay. And that's what I tell the pseudos all the time. Like, can you find me something else besides NASA? Because I know you're lying when all you know is NASA, you know what I'm saying? But
and we constantly promote and say it all the time.
All the time.
That science is a human endeavor.
Human endeavor.
You know what I'm saying? It's not all about the black scientists. It's not all about the white scientists or the Chinese scientists. No, it's all of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Because we all are striving to get that understanding, but at the same time, we are all taking advantage of the byproducts of good science.
Correct.
So that's just what it is. Period.
Man, y'all hot, boy. Y'all don't want to go. Science is universal. That's fact. I think that's gonna be the last word, and I'm doing something a little different. You know, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna make it colorful. I want to bring a different type of energy. Thank y'all for my new renovated room. I'll tell y'all now, if y'all trying to get a green screen, let me tell you what you do. You go to Dollar General and you get you what is like $2, the little plastic cheap tablecloths that your grandmama's church used to use when they had their little after Sunday church functions, and you unfold it all the way and then you fold it the wide way because it's long enough, and voila, you got a green screen. You're welcome. Bye.